Hello, everybody, and welcome to the University of Idaho Esports page. Tonight, we have a special guest. I have a lucky little guest here from the Esports League of Legends team, known as Biped Toast. I am one of your usual casters, the Overlord, and tonight we're doing a lovely event with the Idaho high schools for a League of Legends championship that has been going on for the past couple days, for those of you who have been keeping track. Would you like to say hi?
Yeah, thanks for having me here today. I've wanted to join to cast for a while, but I haven't had a chance to, mainly because I've been playing.
It's good to see you too, Easy Breeze. Miss you, brother.
I'm really looking forward to see what these high school teams are able to put out, and I'm hoping that maybe some of these players might actually look to joining our teams.
Yeah, it is always nice to know that there's a lot of interest and potential from some of the younger audience towards this very lucrative and, in my opinion, fun industry. And I think today is going to be a day where we get to see a lot of that potential.
Yeah, I think so.
It is unfortunate because one of the schools that was on the list was Idaho Falls, which, for those of you who don't know, that's my hometown. I actually went to Idaho Falls High School. I was really looking forward to seeing them play, but things interfered, and that will no longer be an option. So tonight we have Montana State versus Thunder Ridge. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Mountain Home.
I saw
This
the
is Idaho
MTN
High
and went for
Schools.
the other acronym. I'm sorry.
Mountain Home.
But we're gonna get right into this ban phase. Now, I don't know if you're able to do. Oh, Ferris, it's good to see you too, Bella. I miss you guys. It's good to see you guys are part of this. Yeah, Lilia makes sense.
Nunu makes sense. I know that one of the junglers is a Nunu one trick, so that ban makes complete sense. Banning the broken champion
Is
also
there jungler
completely.
Kesha?
Maybe we never know.
But
Tom Kench ban.
I don't know if you've done a
surprising.
whole lot of research into the previous, the current constituents of this matches. I know it's a little bit around silver to gold, so pretty decent.
There's range from anywhere iron to gold.
Yes, I know a player was close to plat, but not quite there just yet. So I'm expecting to see a lot more stat-checky champions in here rather than focusing on teamfight potential. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Well, based on the Poppy pick, I'd say you might be right. I'm a little surprised by the Poppy blind pick, though.
I mean, Poppy is really good into a significant portion of the lobby.
Yeah, but Poppy is one of those picks that oftentimes, in a lot of games, is overshadowed by other picks. Like, I'll use Zac as an example. Better engage, better tank. Poppy's used as more of a counter pick.
Yeah,
though she can get fed sometimes and just one-shot you because she does that.
Damage.
Mundo blind pick is more surprising. That champ is hard to play blind picked. He has so many bad matchups.
Anybody who can do percent maximum HP damage or has an innate heal cut or just even movement speed can typically take down Mundo fairly easily.
I know Ambessa's open. Ambessa versus Mundo is unplayable. Mundo Volibear, very stat checky so far. And Poppy's doing nothing into either of those champs.
Oh my god. So if you're paying attention to the chat, we won a match against Fresno State because I was playing Mundo and did a backdoor based off of with my Ziggs mid laner. It was a very crazy match.
Mundo Ziggs. Those towers are dead.
It was fantastic, but I'd assume here they're going to pick...
I'm guessing here this is going to be a Poppy. I'm guessing it's going to be Poppy top. Poppy does have percent max HP on her Q, so it is a bit rough, but she can't ever slam Mundo into a wall.
Because he has a spell shield. Well,
he's got
CC
his passive.
shield, rather.
He gets to go where he pleases.
Exactly. Now, if he better have corporate Mundo.
Though I do have to say, Vladimir is really good into Volibear to Mundo.
Get a good sustaining, consistent damage. I'm assuming both of them are going to pick like incredible hyper carries to melt through their front line.
Really, an
Akshan mid.
I haven't seen Akshan in a hot minute.
Akshan, okay, so this is a very high risk reward. If Akshan is able to kill Vladimir pre-6, Akshan is always going to have urgency, and if their tanks ever go down, especially if Mundo runs TP Ghost, they're always going to have the edge in terms of team fights. If Vladimir gets any lead at all,
the game's
Akshan's
over.
not allowed to play the
game's
game.
over.
I mean, Volibear, if you build some Mortal Volibear, is capable of 1v6ing here, especially considering they're all pretty much melee.
ADC cutouts. I'm a little bit surprised by the draft order here. They seem to be picking directly in
Yeah,
the order
top
of
jungle mid. Next, we're gonna see both ADCs and then last support.
I'm guessing so. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
But we're
what
banning
goes
out
crazy?
ADCs. Jinx is stupid strong at the moment.
Yep.
Has been for a while. Always a very, very strong pick to have. Caitlyn is one of those picks that she's so strong in lane. If you don't know how to play against it,
Yep.
Relban makes sense.
I think Atlas
completely.
needs to pick Kai'Sa Alistar here, and then Mountain Home needs to pick something like Kog'Maw and maybe Nautilus or Lulu. And
I'd
both
say
teams are gonna have
Mountain Home needs a
massive
lot of
teams.
damage. Mountain Home
Yes.
is lacking damage
They
heavily.
need the biggest of 80 carries to play around because
I would have said Jinx, but obviously she's out of.
Jinx is obviously the go-to, but she's out of the way, and
Damn it.
Caitlyn's gone and Varus is gone, so they have a lot of the straight damage dealers out.
I don't want to see an Ashe. I just don't. Ashe would not be good
Ashe
here.
does not work here.
Ashe can't do anything against either Volibear or Mundo. That just doesn't work. Swain makes Corki's a very good pick here. Corki walks at their team and on that with that percentage true damage on his auto attacks, he can just melt through people.
Yeah, and considering he is such high mobility on top of his damage output, if he's able to just jump onto people, he's going to be melting.
Yes. It is the difficulty. He will have to play this more passive. I expect a jungle pick here that's more I expect a support pick here that is much more focused on peel more than anything because Poppy Nocturne is plenty of engage.
So maybe like a Melio,
Melio, Thresh, Rakan, Renata. I would really like a Renata pick here, if I'm going to be honest.
Renata getting a handshake onto Nocturne or Poppy would make their front line impossible to deal with, or Corki getting a second. Okay, Tarek,
Tarek is kind of based. Tarek is kind of based.
It has been months since I've seen a Tarek player.
God, it's been a long time. I hate playing against him sometimes.
Tarek is the GOAT.
I only hate playing against him sometimes because he either works or he doesn't.
You don't like fighting Grasp Tarek top lane with Trinity Force?
That one's an interesting one. I usually pick Gangplank and just say, no, your stun means nothing.
Lucian is not...
I don't like the Lucian pick. The damage on Mountain Home is so burst favored. They have no sustain damage. Like they're entirely reliant on Akshan.
They have two forms of sustained damage. Akshan and Swain in his ults. But since Swain is running support, he is not going to have the money necessary to keep things going.
Swain would have to be either a mid lane pick or an APC here to actually get the gold needed to be the frontline damage dealer that he normally is.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think Lucian, hypothetically, if you are able to dodge every single skill shot using his impeccable dashes, if you're having really good spacing, theoretically this team shouldn't mess with you. But
problem
Poppy
is
they
picked Lucian into Poppy.
Yeah, those are both point and clicks, and Poppy prevents dashes. Lucian is going to have a miserable time when it comes to Poppy entering the front
Lucian
line.
also can never kill Vlad, ever.
His goal is probably going to be to jump on Corki and then let Volibear and Akshan take down
I think
Vladimir,
here, Mountain Home has to get an early lead to actually be able to function in this game.
which might be difficult because Atlas is beginning early, like pre-4 is almost unstoppable. I mean, it's Tarek, Corki, Poppy,
no, it's
Nocturne.
horrifying. But if Atlas stays even,
They win.
They have so much hard scaling based off of the Corki Vlad just kind of scale into the moon and just murder you, and that's the end of it.
Because the thing to keep in mind is Volibear, if he's going to go the build I think he is, which is probably going to be the build because it's everyone's build, takes 2 to 3 items to hop
It's Volibear
online.
jungle. Most of the time you don't go Immortal Volibear for jungle.
You usually go Sundered Sky into...
The build path is usually Cosmic Drive into Deadman's.
Oh, so it's movement speed, so you can get on top of your targets.
You just run at them.
But that means he's going to be so incredibly... Like, he's going to have no damage output. Which means Akshan's going to be
He has no damage output,
critical.
no sustain. Without his ult, he's not a champion. Post 6, we need to see some dives. Volibear has to go for the dives to get the leads.
And considering they have Akshan passive 2 on that remark, even if they fail the dive, as long as they take down the person, 1, they'll get the gold lead because of Scoundrel passive, and 2, they revive faster. So even bad dives
Better
are
tempo.
good dives. Exactly.
I'm a little bit... I don't know which team I like more this game, because both comps have their issues, but they both have their strengths. I think I would prefer Atlas's comp most of the time because Mountain Home is so reliant on one thing. Mountain Home's comp has one plan, it's run at you and smack you to death.
Which is why I think a counter engage character, because believe it, Tarek is more of a I will keep my people alive than an engage or disengage
Yes.
support. So rather than have Tarek, I would say
So
swap
he
it out
could make the
for-
Nocturne just invulnerable.
and Poppy.
Nocturne,
and
Poppy,
And
Vladimir.
Vladimir could heal his entire HP bar in the time that Divine Intervention
He does it
takes
even
place.
without Divine Intervention. He presses W and 1Q, he's full HP.
You're
I
not
know
wrong.
because Funeral has been absolutely destroying in
You
solo queue.
should have seen it last night. I was playing a Vladimir game. It went crazy.
I've been climbing with Royce because all I do is I pick tank top lane and play to peel him. Play
And
for
that's all you
CC
gotta do.
peel, he picks Vladimir, and we just wait for 30 minutes and we win.
Okay, and it looks like the map will be starting soon. We do have a delay for those of you who have not been a part of these streams before, built into the Riot system,
League of Legends has a forced 3-minute delay on even custom spectates.
which does make sense.
It's custom.
Well, the entire purpose is for exactly the reason why we're doing this is streaming. It provides such a massive advantage.
Yeah, but it's a coordinated esports game. If someone is stream sniping, they're off the team.
We're seeing you.
Like
You cannot escape.
unless they're lurking in chat, but you know.
Yeah, I personally would
I
rather
understand-
have the air of caution. Better
I
to not have
understand
it be-
League for a solo queue environment. Say if you're spectating your friend's game, if there's a delay, but I don't really like the delay on custom games because it makes it really hard to do esports stuff. Like we can't actively stream games in our lab for League because there's the 3-minute delay. We only have to stream one player's perspective, which doesn't really get the whole view of the game.
Which is completely fair. But the point I will always have to make in a circumstance like this is, have you ever played like Call of Duty with siblings and you always say, hey, don't screen peek? It's better to remove the option and make it so that people don't have to worry about it than to try and trust people on their word. Because I would always say, hey, I'm not screen peeking, and I was getting headshots on Rust. Just saying.
True. Though I was not a COD player with family. I was always online. But I was a Mario Kart screen peeker. Because
Okay, yeah,
at Mario Kart Wii, I knew those tracks like the back of my hand. I'd be watching my mother's screen while racing and still be holding first.
Fair enough. But I think that this game is going to be a very interesting one.
I'm looking forward to see how this turns out. I expect a Bork from Akshan. If there is not a
It's
Blade of the
gonna
Ruin
be-
King purchased, he's throwing.
Bork into Kraken, I think, would be the first two items he needs
Yes.
to run. His damage output has to be immaculate in order to give his team the very much needed DPS bonus that
I
they
think
need.
everyone,
It's so unfortunate
Swain
Glasses get
has
such
to
a glare.
Swain is going to have to
Hopefully that
buy
helps.
a
Anti-heal.
Swain's going to have to buy Morello and Leandries. That's going to be mandatory for Swain.
Akshan might want to get Serpent's Fang this game.
The only shielding is Poppy passive and
And Tarek.
Tarek.
Yeah.
Tarek's shields aren't the problem. It's his healing and his invulnerability.
But even reduced, Poppy shields are still pretty significant, especially if
yes,
she can lower her
but she's
cooldown,
just
but-
the Poppy.
And well, it's a hypothetical scenario. It could
I don't
be
think
nice,
Serpent's
but
Fang is necessary. That
I'd
would
be
be a
better
pick
on, like-
depending on how fed the Poppy
Yeah.
gets.
in which case it might be better on Lucian, considering Lucian's probably gonna be the
Yes.
secondary carry. But we'll see.
I mean, there's a lack of consistent damage that I would really like on this team. I think a Zeri could be pretty good into the instead of the Lucian.
You want to know who they should have picked instead of Lucian? Vayne.
Either Vayne or Smolder.
Vayne, Kaisa, Smolder, Kog'Maw would have gone massive this
Kog'Maw
game.
would have been huge.
As long as Corki can't assassinate Kog'Maw,
They just pick
Probably
Cog Lulu. Then you just can't kill the Kog'Maw. They've got front lines for days.
Stop talking. Wait until my ads.
That's fair. Sorry about the ads.
thank you,
Twitch being
Ferris.
Twitch.
Oh, I miss you guys. You guys are the best. I'm glad you guys are helping support the high school scene. I know you guys have been doing that from back home too. Yo, I'm not paying for Twitch Turbo.
I'm not either. I love getting
It's not worth it.
no, but I don't have my Amazon Prime sub set up yet, and then I have to figure out who I want to give the Amazon Prime sub to, which is always an issue.
You could do it to the Idaho Esports page.
Or I could give it to one of my teammates.
You should give it to me. I've been doing personal streaming. I need to do it more often, but I've been doing it.
Or I did actually pay for a sub for one Mario Kart stream
Oh,
because it was a really long one. It was pain. But I really wish Twitch had less ads. I understand why they do, because that's how the
It's
streamers
how they
get
their
paid.
money.
Pause
Are we
coming
already
into
having
this
a
game.
Tech pause, most likely. But we're already going to see that. Wait. Okay, we're getting an invade level 1 from
Level
Atlas.
1 invade
This is
from
going to go
Atlas.
crazy.
I mean, their level 1 is a lot stronger. Tarek's going to have to go stun.
Does Nocturne start Fear?
No.
That's going to be rough.
He starts Q, though.
Q, that'll give him the movement speed to get onto his top.
Poppy's going to have to start E.
She either, because if she starts Q, they're not going to have any initial CC
No.
other than Tarek's stun, which is
gonna have the
not going to
Tarek
be enough
flash
against
stun.
the team.
And Corgi has to go Q early game or he has 0 damage. But his Q hits like a truck, so it's also like undodgeable. Like a Varus E. It's not dodgeable skill shot
But,
and just
I
hits
mean,
you.
I have a feeling Lucian is about to get hit here if he is not incredibly careful. It looks like the Swain is unable to connect, so we're going to see some goofy stuff happen. I have a feeling the big indicator.
Just
for how this
remember,
is
small
gonna go
indie company.
it's only a few $billion profit
A year. Supported by a multi-trillion-dollar super company behind it. Cough, cough, Tencent.
Yeah, I have a feeling Atlas has an incredible edge this matchup, especially if they can get the early objectives.
If Atlas gets an early objective lead or an early kill lead, it's going to be very hard for Mountain Home to ever make a comeback.
Because the thing is, Atlas only needs one DPS person, and it's most likely going to be Vlad.
Vlad is late
so
game.
self-sufficient.
Vlad doesn't do a whole lot of damage until about 2.5 items. Which is entirely reliant on... I'm hoping this Vlad can farm effectively. Because if he can keep his CS numbers up, it'll just be a matter of time till this Vladimir becomes an issue.
It'll be 20 minutes, and then Vladimir all of a sudden starts getting quads.
As Vladimir do. On the bright side, Mountain Home does have point-and-click CC. So shutting down Vlad will be a lot easier if he doesn't save pool.
Yeah, but that's under the assumption that they can kill him fast enough within that CC.
Yes.
Because Vladimir's builds are incredibly high.
He gets
HP
bonus
amounts
health from
AP.
Or from AP.
Yes. Okay, quick update. Supporter, the Swain support has gone ahead and had their computer crash.
Wonderful. So it wasn't a riot problem this time, even though it usually
you
is.
don't know that. You don't know.
That's
that. They're in
fair.
the systems.
I mean, Vanguard could have done something stupid. You never know.
I'm not a fan of Vanguard.
I'm not either, but I mean, I haven't seen any scripters in my games, so I guess it's a win.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic start for how this is gonna go.
We will see.
Yeah, but I guess since we have this short little time break, I should mention, for those of you who are interested in coming up here for the University of Idaho Esports program, I was a recent transfer from last semester. This place is really cool. The classes are great. And you meet really cool people here. For example, me and Eric are on the same League of Legends team. He's also on the Mario Kart team, and he's based for that. If you guys are ever interested to come down and drop by and see all the cool stuff we have, we're always happy to give you a tour. What was that? Okay. So the Swain is currently swapping on to a different machine so that they can go ahead and rejoin the game, which means we'll have a little bit more tech time. I'm just going to take off my glasses. I don't need to see. I'm tired of just blocking up a quadrant of the screen with my glasses. I don't need to be able to read. I don't need anything.
I guess I'm doing chat reading. Even though I don't know anyone at chat because I'm out of the
I
loop.
always feel bad. I need my glasses so bad. But they glare so bad from my position on the screen.
Swap chair spots?
Where did you go? No, because then we have to swap the titles and stuff.
It's all
and
likely.
I don't want to make production have to do that type of stuff for no needed reason.
You're gonna need glasses because you want to. You're gonna want to read messages. Apparently.
I won't say your name, but thank you, Marmalade. I miss you guys. I had some of the most fun games possible with you guys. Being with CEI was such a fun time before coming here. I miss playing with your Smolder brother.
I hate Smolder.
Dude, Smolder Mundo goes crazy.
It does. I would have really liked to Smolder pick this game.
Yeah,
Would have been the late game security. Smolder is able to kill everything.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you're already going to have a weaker ADC for the Lucian Corki, because let's be honest, Corki's just kind of better Lucian at the moment, except for
True.
Lucian are just better. It might be better to set up a scaler like Smolder where, okay, 25 minutes has passed, I've now become the strongest ADC in the game. Heal for me and we win. It's a good redundancy backup if you cannot ensure lane dominance.
Answer to Xander in chat. The reason Akshan builds Bork is it triggers twice on each auto attack. So he's the most proficient ranged Bork builder in the game, on top of the slow, which allow him to actually kite. The thing is he'll have to build Bork, otherwise they have so little damage.
Okay, and we're going into it. And we are...
Oh,
wait,
this poor Lucian.
Why are you stepping
This
up by
poor
yourself?
Lucian might just die.
No, he's fine. They didn't do for the bush
I
cheese,
can't see
so
anything.
Lucian is going ahead and leaving.
No!
You have to get the mouse off the edge of the screen so that I can go to direct camera. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And you
hit
just
the thing.
reset it up.
Click on the directed camera button. Oh.
They-
But we
they got-
missed the whole thing. we missed everything.
They did hunt down Lucian, and it
They'll-
looks like it took Corki Flash, Lucian Flash, Vladimir Flash, Tarek Ignite, but
There
they also
are-
got Barrier and
We're
Flash
down
from Lucian.
4 sums for 2.
But
It was first blood onto the Vladimir.
If he does not come back
Vladimir's-
with a Dark Seal, I am going to be very, very sad.
He's not. I swear.
Okay,
We'll see.
he either comes back with a Dark Seal or boots.
He didn't buy
He
anything.
didn't buy anything? Oh, no.
Where Vladimir purchased?
Well, movement speed is so good on Vladimir,
I
especially into a ranged matchup.
Press X on the keyboard. X. No, X turns on a different thing. Yes. So currently, the Vladimir does have a 300 gold lead in mid lane. Just first blood leads, and then most others have an advantage just from supports because we did get 4 assists. We're going for a level 1 fight bot lane. This Tarek is walking up and not pressing abilities.
I mean, he doesn't really have anything he can work off of. He has stun, but Corki was so far behind it doesn't matter. Xander, you are right. I forgot about the changes. I missed
RIP bonus gold.
Yeah, just being able to buy Dark Seal from First Blood, like as a Kali mid lane, was such a massive impact.
God, it was painful.
Or you can do my quote-unquote Chinese tech and build Dark Seal Cold Cho'Gath top lane.
No, that's like a Baus thing, man.
No, that's a my thing. No one does what I do.
Oh,
and Akshan
Akshan Akshan is dead.
Okay.
They're trading mid lane. That is a better trade for Akshan. That is all all that farm is gone for the Vladimir.
And that should
He's
also
going to be
establish-
forced a TP back, which burns another summoner.
establish a slow push back towards Akshan's tower. So
It
even
will,
more
though.
ways to
It
be
is a
forced
little
out.
bit less impactful in mid lane as compared to top lane because it's much harder to freeze waves, and it's usually worse. Most of the time, mid lane, you don't want to freeze waves due to the fact that it allows your opposing laner to just roam. You might be losing gold, but it allows them to impact the map. Mid lane, you kind of just want to counter shove.
Especially considering, I know most actions don't start W until level 4,
Yes.
but going for even an early, okay, I'm invisible, let's go gank top lane because Poppy won't be able to escape very easily against us.
We have
Just be
a
a
large.
massive impact.
We have already a large CS gap in the bot lane, already up 7, which at this point in the game could mean it doesn't mean a whole lot now. But if this farm lead continues,
Yuga,
it might
can you
end
hit
up
X,
meaning
please?
a lot.
That button presses from items to gold. So it's good occasionally.
We already got a fight going on in the mid lane. This Akshan is getting a huge amount of poke for nothing. Vladimir's walking up way too far.
He needs to just be focusing on sustaining through the
Yes, he
minions
needs to
and then
focus on
waiting for
CS
6.
over trading. He is a Vladimir pre-6. He's not a whole lot of a champion.
Thank you.
That Corki Q hit push, that Corki Q hit the Lucian, but did force the wave to push. That is a
and they're just gonna
Tarek
hit
E.
down
They're already
Lucian.
just hitting the
He's being
Lucian.
hunted down.
Tarek lives. Lucian also lives. What the hell happened bot lane?
That barrier barely made it through, and since
Barely.
neither of the flashes are up, Lucian, why are you walking back?
Lucian's
Don't do
chugging
it.
potions. That's why he's walking back.
Yeah, but
if
even then
I
he's
was
still
the Swain, I
lethal.
probably would have flashed for the kill on the Tarek. Could have made a lot of pressure. It would have given him, if he has Presence of Mind in his rune page, it would have given him a lot of mana. Wave is pushing in bot lane here.
Varys, I appreciate the legends being spread.
This game is already so bloody when both team comps want to scale a bit. Neither team really wants to do a whole lot of anything until 6. Both junglers pretty much...
I wouldn't go quite that far. Mundo doesn't want to do anything for a period of time until he gets his Heart Seal and Warmogs, because he's never going to be able to outduel Poppy.
He goes Warmogs first in this matchup.
But Nocturne and Orky definitely want to start getting these engages off 3-6.
Yes.
They get even better
Nocturne
post-6.
usually power farms till 6. It's just not... His ganks are not great. They're very predictable. 3-6, if you know what's coming. He isn't one of the junglers that can force a gank. Yeah, his Q speeds him up, but it takes so long
You
for
have to get on top of your target
Yes.
is his biggest weakness.
Yeah.
But if anyone's ever overextended, it's going to be a big thing. And okay,
There is a gank.
that should have been, I believe the Paranoia, sorry, not Paranoia.
And Nocturne's dead.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Nocturne.
I think if they
That was a
focused-
very good roam from mid lane here. This Akshan might actually be able to get more. He's really, really big. He's got a lot of gold. He's already got the... Can't even remember what that epic item is. The Scout's pistol, I think. But it gives him bonus damage on a timer on auto attacks.
I think it was, yes, I would agree. It's very good timing. Action roaming with Volibear was huge there. I do believe Atlas could have won that if, rather than going, if Nocturne went after the Swain rather than the Lucian who dashed away with his fear, he could have gotten Swain out, walked through the lane towards his allies, and then they get set up
Yes,
to drag.
I think
rather
so.
than the other way around.
They are trading Grubs for drag here. I think Grubs on either team, Grubs would be way better for Mountain Home than Thunder Ridge, so it's really good that they're getting the Grubs out. Mundo should be careful here. It could be an easy 3-man top lane. We do have a swap between the bot lane and the mid lane. Akshan is going to be 1v2 bot lane for the foreseeable future. I lied. They're changing back.
He's heading back mid. Lucian and Swain are pushing in the lane, and they're going to be heading right back. They wanted a little bit of extra gold to make sure the wave
That
crashed.
was a good call.
And the funny part is, even if they did 3-man top, Mundo has maximum dosage up.
It's
so
true. It'd be very hard to kill him.
without the heal cut, as long as Mundo doesn't auto Poppy when he triggers it,
True.
he'll be perfectly fine.
Mundo getting shoved in here. Mundo is pretty much even CS, which is
Which
all
means
you want
he's
to do
ahead.
on Mundo.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Mundo game is Mundo even CS is an ahead Mundo because he does outscale you. It doesn't matter who you are, he's going to outscale you.
That is
And
true.
it feels really bad when he's got 30,000 HP and 500 AD.
But the big thing to keep in mind here is Akshan is having such a massive presence on the map. He's able to clear these waves out in an instant and go wherever he wants. Vladimir
Akshan
just
is
doesn't have the
forcing so
pushing
much.
power to keep up with it. and
Akshan has so much early forcing power compared to Vlad. That's a little bit of a questionable trade. He's trading in the entire minion wave.
But, I
Bot
mean-
lane fight happening. Tarek just died so quickly. That is a Paranoia out and Flash burned by both bot lanes. No barrier on Lucian. That's a bunch of sums out and it is a bunch of sums out, but is a positive trade for Mountain Home. They got the kill.
Mundo is making sure Poppy does not get the recall. The lack of mana is being a clear issue for them right now.
Poppy's always had serious mana issues. That is pool out.
Yeah, but
Yes, but he's dead for it.
And-
I would not have pooled on the Akshan arc because the tower can just block it.
Yeah, and since it got reset rather than canceled because he didn't wait for the first shot to actually leave, Action gets pretty much.
He
full
still has his
cooldown
ult back.
Yep.
Mundo hit maximum dosage. I probably would have waited on that Volibear arc to go for the dive.
I think if he goes through topside jungle to get behind tower, ults it with Mundo, Poppy might be able to like try and charge ult, but it won't be enough to stop them.
Maybe?
She might not have even had enough mana for it, but it was a valiant attempt.
There is a
Just
static
it-
from Akshan. Static should have allowed him to push waves
Even
so
faster.
quickly.
I wouldn't have gone static first. I am a firm believer of
I-
the board, but
I am too, but I understand going at this point in the game, going the static. Bork could be a later game purchase because they're not very tanky at this point in the game. The static Shiv will allow for him to roam even more.
his Swain ult has come down. They are able to, they can just push out here. This
Swain's
is a
dead.
dead Swain. Lucian is not able to help out here. I don't think Flash was necessary. His dash should have been up.
Still was a
about
kill.
Half a second.
We take the kill though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thunder Ridge is only down about 1,000 gold. Down a kill. Top lane. Mundo's ahead CS.
Yeah, but since they have Poppy
It's
as
a
the
big.
assist,
It's
pretty
1,000
even.
gold mid lane. The entire gold diff is the mid lane.
Getting a perfect recall before the Action collapses upon him. Tarek going ahead and leave Action's, I believe it's called Active Pursuit, is on cooldown now.
He's just out of, like, Corki just getting out there, so important. I think the main issue this game is Vladimir's getting no CS. They're only at 44 at 10 minutes. He's a broke Vladimir.
Yeah. Vladimir is one of the characters that cannot farm underneath the tower unless if it is a full crash from beginning to end, because his damage is on such a significant cooldown.
It takes him 2
like
autos to kill a caster after a cannon shot.
Well, the thing is, that part's fine, because you normally any other mage would use their abilities to cast in between autos. Like, Vigar can do it with 2 autos too, but he has
Once
Q and
Vladimir
W.
gets 1 wave, he just eats the wave and it's gone.
Yeah, but you can't use an E to clear wave until level 9 and like about 120 AP. So it's a really rough threshold.
Especially with him going Cosmic Drive first item.
I mean, it's a very good item. He needs to be able to
It is,
faster.
but it's so little AP already. Honestly, I don't know Vlad building up. I know Cosmic Drive is a very common first item. I would not walk here if I were Vlad. Nocturne is pushing up too far on the minimap. Nocturne's getting collapsed on. They should get a kill here. That is the Volibear ult out. I love auto cast. I love the auto directed camera because it's looking at bot lane when there's this Grubs fight happening. That's a dead Poppy.
Yeah,
It's killed the Swain.
that's also a dead Swain.
It's dead Swain.
His life for Iris, he gets, as we have Poppy traded out for Swain.
That's support for a top laner. That is a positive trade. Mountain Home should be able to secure this. That is a Vladimir flash. Tarek R coming out. Vladimir Pool is gone. Tarek R didn't get a whole lot of value. No one hit them during the Tarek R.
I mean, it made sure...
That's a dead Volibear. This is a huge
Volley
fight.
worked.
The Vladimir is getting so much gold. That's maximum doshes. Mundo just gets to walk away. I'm stuttering. Help me.
I got you. But the way they played that fight was really, really well executed. Going ahead and getting the Swain catch out and then transition to the next period.
It was a very well-turned fight.
Yeah, Tarek ult may not have stopped a whole lot of damage. It kept Vladimir alive, and then he got his ult
I
off
wouldn't
in
have thought they
Q2.
could win that fight, but the Akshan wasn't there. That's their whole goal lead.
Akshan
Volibear
is their
is
big
going the Cosmic Drive first item. We got a replay for this fight. The Poppy just gets hit by a Swain hook, which it is what it is. Poppy was in a catch-22 situation.
You either die from the Lucian autos or you get hit by the Swain and killed by his Q.
Yes.
The big thing I think that could have been improved upon on Mountain's home side is Lucian ults is not very good when trying to go around corners because it's all straightforward. If he saved that for when Nocturne jumped on him afterwards, he could have just bursted him out and then him, Volibear, and Mundo just go ahead and sweep the Grubs.
Lucian has his free boots already, which is pretty epic. And then he has a collector. Lucian's got a pretty big power spike. The main problem is Corki has a Trinity Force already. Corki Trinity Force is an absurdly strong spike.
Getting to have that chain proc in a really large amount of HP, considering
And a
ADC
huge
build
amount of
very
attack
glass.
speed.
Yep. The glass cannon build on Lucian is going to be either you kill Corki within the first 3 auto attacks,
Or Corki kills you
die.
in a rotation.
Yes.
Because he's Corki. No arm Watley
Wheatley.
or Wheatley.
This
This
is the
Mundo
part
is
where
Mundo
you
should be
die.
going Warmogs here. Mundo should go Warmogs.
So if you notice, he has 3 Giants belts. He is near the...
It's either Heartsteel or Warmogs. Take your pick.
He's... Personally, I think he should build Heartsteel first.
I never...
I am a big believer in building Heartsteel before Warmogs, because...
I'm going to trust Alois here. If he plays it right, Warmogs allows him to get so much free gold because he just auto-wins trades against Poppy. The thing with Warmogs is...
I think he should be winning the trains regardless anyway.
This guarantees it because he can take every bad trade he wants and then walk away and he's full HP. Warmogs, in my opinion, is always going to be a better first item because it allows you to force people out of lane and get free tower plates. Mundo gets to just push towers. The problem with Heartsteel is it doesn't give you any of that lane sustain. So even if you get ganked as Mundo, you just walk back to your tower regen to full and keep walking.
Yes, but there's 2 points you have to keep in mind. Thunder Ridge has a very melee-oriented team comp, and the earlier you build Heartsteel, the earlier you can get it stacking. And considering Mundo already has so much sustain from his maximum health per few seconds on his passive, he has a pseudo Warmogs, it's just not as fast.
It's really slow.
But he also has maximum dosage. He already has plenty of tools in his kit to overcome those bad trades through HP advantage alone. That being able to say, hey, I'll make these bad trades into neutral trades with the Heartsteel auto attack, and then I get permanent HP on top of that, or when Warmogs eventually triggers.
It's just if you take
believe is a bigger
Warmogs, it
impact.
allows you to accelerate your gold so quickly. Then you get that you get the Heartsteel so quickly because you're just going to take so many towers. It's one of those things. Do you want to accelerate your gold now or later? Warmogs is an accelerator now. Heartsteel is I'm stronger later.
And
Warmogs allows you to get ahead easier.
Well, I mean, I understand your perspective. I think this is a disagreement on perspective of how you want to run the lane phase. You like playing a lot more aggressive with your characters than I do.
I have to say, I'm going to trust Alois on this one. He's a
I
Warmogs
don't
player.
care. He's an Aatrox player. He's not a
No, he's not.
Mundo
He's a
player.
Riven one trick.
Nah.
He's Riven Mundo. He's climbing through Korea with Riven Mundo.
No. But I personally think being able to build up Heartsteel earlier is just better for carrying his team late game, especially if Akshan ever gets caught out. They'll need someone who can be alive and deal damage. And
Agree to
Heartsteel-
disagree.
Look, Heartsteel procs are converted into direct AD on Mundo. Just saying.
Or I could get 2 towers and then buy Heartsteel.
Well, think about it. You can kill your opponent with Heartsteel and take the towers and then build Warmogs. Simple as.
That's another. This Akshan is absolutely playing this map. Every moment he's somewhere doing something.
I have to say, I really like how aggressive Watermark is with dives. It is not often you see a mid laner capable with diving so hard like that. And
If
it
I
is
remember
working
correctly,
wonders.
Watermark is the gold player in this lobby.
If it is, I would not be surprised. He's playing incredibly
He's also
well.
dead here.
Good job focusing the tower.
Good,
when
the
you go
kill did
down.
not go to the Taric. I was a little worried with that. He doesn't have Aftershock. He has Guardian. Never mind. Nothing to worry about. The amount of kills I've stolen with Aftershock accidentally, I can't tell you.
It's a surprising. It's not a support room. It's a damage room.
It's a damage room. It's like, why do you think Galio goes it?
Why do you think Zach does it?
It's a damage room, and it makes you killable for like 2 seconds.
That
Crazy.
is true.
Aftershock, crazy rune.
You're right. I was thinking of Nail. He is the Aatrox player. Look.
I believe it's triggered currently. If he has enough grass procs, his Warmogs is triggered. Can you hover the Can we hover the mouse over the Warmogs?
Dr. Mundo's first item.
It is triggered. Warmogs is up.
Barely. Okay,
He's
thank
getting
you.
his HP sustain. So
Well,
now he
and-
should be allowed to take any trade he wants. He gets to force Poppy out of lane, especially because Poppy has Hail of Blades. Poppy's going to be burst trades, but he can take them just because he has Warmogs.
Well, okay, so I have a few thoughts. So first things first, fantastic play by Xanderk. I don't think fully building Thornmail as Poppy first item is a good idea.
No.
The Bramble Vest itself is fine, and I would personally go Eclipse or Sundered Sky, and then just try and get some damage to your kid and then out-sustain him.
Since Mundo went the Warmogs, she should have gone to Sundered Sky. Because then you can trade even with the Warm. You
And
can
you have
get
your
the
own form of
sustain.
sustain.
But if you don't have
This
any
is a dead
sustain,
Vladimir.
if you don't have any sustain into the Warmogs, he just runs you down. He just kills you by attrition.
Corporate Mundo making that money.
He do in fact be making those big bucks.
Smacking people with sheer wealth. Don't you love the power of capitalism?
True.
But
Mundo with a bounty. Mundo has the second highest CS in the game. I lied. Third highest.
yeah, Akshan is
Now it's
Akshan
fourth.
and Corky.
Now it's fourth.
But-
let me just stop talking.
The other point I was going to make is Warmogs is conditional as a first item if you get enough grasp or you have to wait at a certain level. It is decent a first item if you typically get it around like 11, 12 minutes rather than like, because I know at least personally when I play Mundo, I get first item around 9 minutes where it's too early to trigger Warmogs from happening because you don't have enough grasp stacks or you don't have enough HP from health.
I just generally, oftentimes, I'm playing Mundo and I get ganked, so I have to wait a little bit, and then I can just force whatever the hell I want with the Warmogs.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. Mundo's entire thing is either way, it's the same 2 items.
He's a
It's
ticking
different-
time bomb.
It's different. Yeah,
Order.
it's different order.
No matter what you go, Mundo's a ticking time bomb. He's going to be an issue late game unless you put him behind a 1-0 Mundo who's up CS. Not a great sign.
Interesting use of paranoia. I think he was going to try and go for a steal.
I think so. I agree with him not going in there. It is soul point, which is a little bit stressful.
What do you
Mountain
mean?
Home.
You don't want to deal with Cloud Soul, Mundo, Volibear, Action, Swain, Lucian?
Ew.
You literally will not be able to escape
Cloud
a
Soul is
single
by
ult.
far and away the strongest soul on this team comp. By far.
Cloud Soul is actually the strongest soul in general.
It is, yes. The
Because
highest win rate.
15% flat movement speed and additional, 25 in your castle?
It's crazy.
It's so much movement speed that even if you don't have boots, you will outrun people. And there we go. Wait a minute what we're seeing here. We have some Swifties on Mundo. He's getting his Thorn Vest. He is ready
I would
to
not about a
fight
Thorn Vest.
God
He doesn't
himself.
He doesn't really need the anti-heal. Vladimir's not an issue at the moment.
Well, the thing is, it won't work against Vladimir. It's decent damage reduction for Poppy and Nocturne, and that's about
I
it.
don't like the Bramble here.
I think you just go Deadman's instead. Or
No,
even
you go
Iceborne.
Heartsteel.
Yeah, duh. I was meaning as a third item.
This isn't third item material. He bought
Yeah.
it now.
'Cause
That is a kill on the Vladimir, which this Akshan is 5 and 2. The Vladimir 3 and 5. I think the win con for Thunder Ridge is they have to get this Corki farther ahead. Vladimir's getting Flame Horizoned. It's a rough one for the Vlad. There is the Bork. I love the Bork buy. Bork is so strong into that team
And
because
he's
it allows.
got heal cut too.
This Akshan is so strong. Bork just allows him to kind of walk down whoever he wants to. Look at his damage.
Nocturne
Look
and
at his
Corki
damage.
might not be able to
and
win
he kills
this by
him.
himself. And Volibear is coming in from the side flank to jump on Corki. It is going to be an easy double killer action.
He's just out of the. They're just all dead.
Yep,
This
and
should
then-
be a free tier 2.
The struggle of top lane. Wait. Mundo.
Mundo.
Wait,
He's got
what?
maximum dodge. He's fine.
Okay, he's fine.
fine.
Barely, but
Go
wait.
back and hit the tower. No.
You,
No
you guys
demolish
took down
trigger.
3. Vladimir and Tarek, even if they're both together,
They're
couldn't really
getting
do
the
anything.
free Otacon.
You
There's
know
going to
what?
be huge buff, especially because they have all 3 of those drags.
Yep.
25% buff on all of those individual drag
Plus
buffs.
Cloud Soul when they get it is
Plus
going
the
to be
Quad Soul
so
buff.
massive.
They just run you down. And
they
on
already
top of
are.
that, they're going to be even farther ahead in XP and effective gold because the flowers are roughly 700 gold worth of the stats.
For
So-
each player.
For each player. It's 2 longswords worth of AD, and it's
then
more.
the experience itself
It's
is
more
massive.
blasting wands.
Yep.
It's more amp tomes. It's even stronger for like the Vlad. But it's not Vlad. But I would say this is a huge damage buff for the Swain.
Yeah,
He
since
probably
Swain
got-
typically gets Rylai's into Malignance and then full tank, getting a little bit of extra damage for his HP build means
huge.
he doesn't have to worry about getting eventually
Do you
outstained.
do you know how many flowers you get for the Akshan? I don't. Or for Otacon?
Wait, what was that?
You have 5 large flowers, that's 3 each, and you get a bunch of small ones.
It's a roughly, I want to say 35.
I think it's 30.
In
35
total.
sounds right. That is 35 free AP for Swain.
Yep.
Because Adaptive Force transfers 1-to-1 for
Which
AP.
is
Team fight going on. This Volibear is just
of
walking.
Amplified Tomes.
This Volibear has the Navori. He's not
Yep.
going to die at any point. I think this game is going to be completely reliant on Mountain Home making a mistake.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to point out, I think Mundo could have gone for the tower there. I don't
100%.
I don't necessarily find there to be an issue to playing a little bit more methodical and going for objective pressure than going for tower later. It'll always be there for you to take,
Yeah.
especially if you're already ahead.
However, the Otacon was already going to be secured because they're all dead. He could have gone for the
Yes,
tower to
and then
accelerate them even further.
He could have gone tower and then roamed to Otacon, but either way, but I still don't think it's a bad choice.
It's
to
not a
focus
bad
Otacon
call. It's
first.
just not the one I personally would have made.
Yes.
Um,
Because we did know that 3 people were down. He could have,
yes,
especially if he's running Demolish, which he should be.
he
He's
is.
Mundo.
The Demolish was triggered
yeah.
on the thing. Currently, we're sitting in a 7K gold lead. 9-15. This jungle is even. Top lane is behind 1,300 gold.
This
The-
next about 45 seconds is going to determine how this game plays out.
Vladimir's down
Cloud
5,000 gold.
Yep. Cloud Soul is about to spawn.
And Corki's dead.
Wait a minute.
R.I.P. Corki's not. Yeah, Corki's dead.
Okay, here we
That's
go.
a Cloud Soul.
Yep. Cloud Soul is going to be confirmed, and then I think if they push down the rest of the game. Xander, you are correct. Akshan
Does
does
Akshan
have
have
a
any AP
Seeker's
scaling?
arm guard. That's not the one, because Seeker's arm guard doesn't go to GA.
Seeker's,
Why
yeah,
is he getting a Zonia's?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Because the thing is, it's not going to really stop Paranoia, because Paranoia lasts longer than 2.5 seconds. It could maybe stop Vladimir ult, But there's not a whole
Does
lot
he
that
have
you can really work
any?
off of.
Does he have any AP scalings?
I think he has an AP scaling on his ult by like 30%.
Mundo has the heart steal. He's just
Yep.
going to be smacking this Poppy.
Look, and if he bought that first, he'd already be at
They're
like
just going to get
300,
ran down with
400
this
stacks.
Volibear. Volibear's in ult, has his Q, should be maxed at this point. The Volibear's going to run you down. That is a very questionable blasting cone by the Vladimir. No flash on the Vlad. This Swain is just walking at them with R, and it's working because they're ahead so much gold. Swain should be dead here. This Corki's playing a little bit passive. He is dead. Okay.
Yep. It takes a lot of time, but they do eventually take him down. The issue is the amount of time it takes to get these kills.
That Nocturne
rough.
R is really ambitious.
He doesn't have Poppy to support him immediately.
He
does
did
take
get a
down
kill,
Lucian,
and Lucian's back.
but that's the bad part. If you die
Akshan
to
moments.
Akshan, all of your hard work is gone.
All of it.
Master Subby, I do agree that it is an all-right item for keeping people alive, but rather than go for Zonius, I would just say get Steel Sigil and get plated steel caps to be able to survive Nocturne, which is kind of what's
Akshan
already
does have
happening.
AP scaling.
And then he just goes for GA rather than having Seeker's Arm Guard to
Actually,
get rid of it.
based on what Xander is saying for the AP scaling, it's actually, I think it's reasonable. Because it gives him Q movement speed and passive on-hit damage. He's getting buffed damage, he's getting more movement speed, and he's getting the Seekers. And then Zhonya's gives him it gives him armor.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing by any means. I'm just saying the way I would have played it is I find GA for such a heavy AD based character is useful. You could go, I do believe you can still go both. But the big thing is,
So Corki,
you're
sorry
gonna
if
get
I'm
hit-
interrupting you.
Yeah.
We currently have an engagement in the mid lane with the Corki and the Taric just getting run down. Tarikar's not up, so they're just going to die. There's 5 of Mountain Home mid lane. None of the waves are pushed out for Thunder Ridge, so they can't even do anything with them spending 5 people. This should be a free Baron for Mountain Home.
yep. And Mundo unironically can stay top lane, keep Vladimir focused, and try and go for some power damage here. Poppy is unable to respond to any of these. They have to keep the midway pushed out because once this Baron goes down, the big issue that Thunder Ridge is going to find is...
Oh, going for the steal. He gets it.
Oh
No,
my
Thunder
goodness.
Ridge gets the steal.
Maxwell goes ahead and uses Paranoia to steal Baron right from Mountain Home's nose. I was going to say the big issue Thunder Ridge is going to experience is they don't have wave clear against super minions and Baron minions, and that will no longer be an issue.
Especially with Vlad being down. Vlad is getting walked out by Mundo.
If he activated his ult a little bit earlier, he might have survived Mundo
Maybe, but
long enough,
Akshan was
but
there.
he still would have died, and Akshan would have revived
Mundo's
Mundo.
level 16.
Yeah.
Mundo's got his art, which heals him 80% max HP, if I remember correctly,
And 60% move speed.
and 60% movement speed, and it gives him a ton of bonus health based on his missing health.
Yeah, it's-
Mundo ult is one of those things that you want to purchase. Well, you want to use it when you're at
low
low
as
health
possible.
as possible. Akshan did finish
That's
the Zhonya's.
such a beautiful
That's a beautiful
snipe.
steal. They let that steal happen.
And the best part is, Volibear smited too, and he failed the smite because I think it hit
Yeah.
Nocturne on his way in, and then just Nocturne's like,
Nocturne
I'll
just
take it.
face tanked the smite. That's pretty funny.
And that single-handedly just gave them more time in this game for Corki to try and come back up.
Do any of them? Poppy still has Baron. I'm pretty sure Poppy is the
Oh.
only Baron.
Okay, so
They can't kill Mundo here. He just runs away.
something I want to point out. Corki just bought full mana immune without tier being stacked.
Oh,
That is...
a terrible idea.
Consider you need to have tier stacked earlier if you're going to go for mana
It's not an
immune.
item.
Yeah, I mean...
It's also not the Corki build really anymore.
I mean, Mana Immune is still a fantastic item on Corki. He triggers it well. The issue is it's 20
It's not
minutes of the game.
triggering.
Yeah, it's not. it needs to be stacked from lane phase for it to be.
Muramana
transformed sooner.
isn't an item. Actually, is it? Muramana is the evolved one, right?
Muramana is the normal one. Mana Immune is the evolved.
Well, Muramana isn't really an item at this point in the game.
Yeah, you need to have it transformed.
Yes.
But I don't know if that's going to matter at this point. Akshan is clearly being the sneaky
it's a
little
9
monster.
It's a 9 almost a 10k gold lead. It's 9.7k gold lead. It's
Hey,
one of those
we've
things
seen
where
we've seen bigger leads thrown
we've
before.
thrown bigger leads, Quentin.
No,
Yes, we have.
they don't know that. Shush, shush, shush.
Games like this can be thrown. It's just so hard, especially with Mountain Home's team comp. They kind of just get to run at people and they die.
Corki tried to get
Taric is down ult again when they get caught.
Corki and Taric try to go for a sneaky flank here to try and take down Akshan. Volibear and Swin are doing such a good job of saying, hey, this is our carry, you cannot touch.
Mid lane is the entire gold gap.
Yeah. I feel a little bit bad from this Vladimir. It's such a rough matchup to have to deal with, and the fact that early heal pet just also destroys him, since I believe Auction got it immediately after Static Shift, means you can't push in wave, you can't heal off of wave because Auction's going to beat you with his outrange, and then all of a sudden he's 14-2.
I do think a lot of what happened is Vladimir didn't farm this game pretty much at all, so he's so broke. He's not even 2 items yet. It's at 30 minutes. Even off of farming, you should be 2 items at this point.
Yeah.
Auction is also farming stupidly well.
Yeah, I think the Static Shift definitely helped.
Yeah.
I would have gone for
Terracar, they're going for a turn here. Corki didn't get the Terracar. He's just going to die to Auction.
But we do see the Lucian come out thanks to divine intervention from Tarek, keeping Nocturne alive. But
Everyone's just standing still, not attacking. Everyone's just standing still, not attacking. There's no kiting happening.
First rule of Fight Club.
That is the first game out. Mountain Home takes the lead 1-0 in this final set.
Yep, that means moving into map 2, it could theoretically be game point for Thunder Ridge.
Doesn't mean Thunder Ridge gets side select, though, which could be huge depending.
Do you think they'll pick an order again? Because that was funny.
That was really funny. There was only one pick that wasn't in order.
And that was the Swain.
It was the
Swain. That was pure aura. Who could stop him?
True. No one. No one could. I think that game kind of just boiled down to Mountain Home was just there. Mountain Home was everywhere they needed to be.
Point. They had, honestly, in almost every lane, they had advantage except for the Lucian, but they kind of worked around that really well by making
Lucian didn't do
passive.
Really anything.
And that's kind of what he had to do. He's just
exist.
As long as Corki doesn't get fed, him and Lucian being on equal scale means that's fine because the rest of the team's going to get ahead.
Yes.
I think if they pick someone like Pantheon instead of Vladimir into Action, or someone who just
not
has like
Pantheon, you want to pick a more lane dominant. So Victor.
Victor is a great choice. I still think Pantheon is also a pretty lane-dominant character. As long as you can get on top of him with the W.
Yeah, but then he runs away from you because he has so much movement speed.
Well, yeah, but what you do is just W, Q, E, go backwards to the back of the lane, stack up passive, repeat.
Pantheon winning that matchup entirely relying on Auction letting him win.
Yeah, but you saw how aggressive they were. So
this is true. This Auction was always going for tower dives. Tower diving a behind Vladimir is so easy if he doesn't have pool.
And the thing is, it's not even just when for the tower dives, like when going for the minion waves, Action was always towards the front. Playing someone like Pantheon like that gives you such pressure.
I have a feeling Watermark would play entirely different in that matchup.
Probably. He looks like he's a very experienced player when it comes to playing mid lane.
I'm hoping for an Auction ban this game. Because Auction was so dominant that game. If they don't ban the Auction, I have a sinking suspicion that the game is going to turn out just the same.
You know what, Xander? Those are actually fair points. I think Vex goes absolutely crazy that game.
Vex can be stupid good, but
well,
the problem
it's really good against
ahead.
Lucian and Action, and theoretically, Poppy Nocturne should be able to hold off volley
theoretically.
Dr. Mundo. These are all purely hypothetical circumstances. We would have to see it actually play out to give any.
I think Talia could have been a huge pick because you can match roams on Talia. Problem is Talia is a very, very high skill ceiling champ. I would be a bit worried about the Talia. Because Talia is one of those champs that's so easy to die on her if you don't know how to play in matchups.
And a lot of people, since she has a utility ult, tend to not use it to its full potential. For example, it's very good for gank setup for cutting off like lane from tower. So
it's a very, very, very good team-centered ult.
But also counterpoint, Lucian E, Volibear ult. Tarek will just, not Tarek, Swain will just survive. Mundo has passive, so if he even just gets hit by it, he's going to get through. There's a number of issues with it.
There's always a number of issues. It's one of those things where I think a lot of issues that game stemmed from giving early advantages. I don't think that Invade was worth it because they lost so much lane prio. Everywhere else besides bot lane.
So
and then bot lane didn't push that lead.
The fact that they saw Lucian walking towards their bush and they immediately went out rather than waiting for him to get a little bit closer so they wouldn't have to waste sums gave them a lack of kill potential in the bot lane because Corki needs flash to hunt down Lucian.
Yeah, 100%.
Lucian is faster than Corki. I hope you guys enjoyed first map. We will be continuing shortly, but in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. So if you need water, food, a snack, go ahead and get those taken care of, and we'll be back shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the short break before we get into match 2. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown and analysis of the previous game so that you guys can get a little context, catch up in case if you missed match 1, or if there's any other questions we want to go over. What were your thoughts about the game so far?
So I think what the first game boiled down to was a complete map dominance from the Akshan. The Akshan was everywhere they needed to be at all times. Every single play was always a number advantage for Mountain Home.
What are some certain techniques or information gathering stuff that they could have done to prevent Aktron from having such unfettered mobility?
I think a lot of control. There was no control words. I didn't see a single control word purchased by either
Control words are
teams.
the counter to
Akshan.
stealth time.
He has a camouflage, not a true stealth, which means he is revealed by control words. You want those deep control words to reveal which direction he's going. Another thing that could be done is Vladimir, if he ever got lane push, you want to put a ward in the backside
so that
of
you know
mid lane, so you know when they try to leave.
Tower. Yeah. Is there any specific moments during this time that you think could have been improved upon or might have kind of sealed the fate of who's going to win the fight?
I think there was a lot of miscommunication, I have a feeling, on Thunder Ridge. I saw a lot of focusing on completely different targets in team fights. There was a lot of split damage, which against Mountain Home, you can't do that against their team comp. You have to burst their damage carries.
A specific instance in mind is, for example, when Nocturne ganked level 6, he used Paranoia to get onto Swain and then try to kill Lucian, while his teammates were killing Swain and they got collapsed on by Volley Bear.
There's the Akshan ban.
Yep. There was a control ward bot lane at the bush entering red buff during the laning phase. That is fair, but if that's the only one they have, especially
they need one on a river for Akshan.
Yeah, especially that was before Aktron really had his humongous lead where there's a risk of you dying at all times from him. Controllers become even more important once that stage
There's the Victor pick.
There we go.
Victor, if played correctly, can be completely lane dominant. He's such a lane bully early with that Q, giving you 100 HP shield and such a big damage
Mountain Home,
buff.
pick Gwen.
Pick Gwen. Gwen is so unbelievable. It's only if you know how to play it, though. Gwen jungle,
Gwen is not
so
difficult.
broken.
I mean, they banned Nefiri.
Yes.
Which
The dog deserves the ban.
Which makes you always have to ask the one question. What a dog doing?
No. The Akshan ban makes total sense.
Yes.
Akshan was completely walking. The Dr. Mondo blind pick again. I really want Atlas to
Fiora.
pick a lane counter. I want to see an Aatrox. I want to see a Fiora. I don't like the Jhin here. Jhin cannot kill Mundo ever. The Vel'Koz is kind of based. I'm a personal Vel'Koz enjoyer. Problem with Vel'Koz is you have to play him perfectly.
The thing is, his true damage is so incredibly useful, but it takes so much to pull off because it's, if I recall correctly, it's 4-hit passive.
3
hit passive. Unironically, if they pick some tanky support or jungler here, Gwen for Atlas goes crazy. Pick Gwen. Gwen secures you this win.
Why the Poppy pick? There's no dashes.
Poppy's just really, really good at what she does. Because even if they don't have dashes, she has such incredible lockdown that you don't have to be hit by her dash stun to be CC'd permanently. She can do 5 seconds of CC with interrupt and 3 seconds without.
Galio.
Counterpoint, Galio is lame, Yordle's reign supreme. And by that I mean
You hurt
both
me.
of them are lame. Void characters are the best.
You hurt me.
Look, Demacia is the Terran of League of Legends.
For-
It's okay. It's not fantastic. It's not bad. It's mid.
I need to see the Gwen here. Gwen, this game is so unbelievably broken. Nocturne.
If you do not pick Gwen, pick Lilia. What they need is someone who can do consistent burn damage,
I
or
think
someone who can just burn them
we
instantly.
need more CC. I just looked at Atlas, and you great point out, Xandrick. There's so little CC on Atlas. Your CC is Victor W, Vel'Koz E, and Jhin
slow
W.
on Q. And yeah,
That's it.
None of these are really super consistent, especially the Vel'Koz. His knockup is really good. The
So
slow on
hard to
his
hit.
Q is almost impossible to hit.
There's the Gwen ban.
Yep, we knew it had to come out.
It had to.
Lilia, I wish I could say Bel'Veth, but Bel'Veth is unplayable with Poppy in the game.
Yes. I would have picked. So if Gwen was not banned for Atlas, I would put Gwen and then a hard tank top lane. I would have picked something like into Mundo. You could pick an Ornn.
Ornn, yeah.
Ornn Mundo is an even matchup because of Mundo's passive if the Mundo plays it right.
Yeah.
Ornn has very high kill potential if the Mundo plays him properly though.
And the thing is, Mundo may become like a more solo carry top laner.
The Lucian
Ornn
is much
has
better
his-
this game.
Yeah. The Ornn pick would have a lot more urgency in terms of team fights because post 14, you get your items set up for your teammates, so you provide a lot of gold for your teammates. So it's, I'm going to play for my team, and Mundo's going to say, I'm going to play for myself. Oh, Lilia was banned first phase. Wait, Atlas banned Lilia, considering how tanky they were playing last game?
Oh god.
Kindred? Oh no, this is not good.
This team comp is
It's all damage,
yeah, but
which
they
means
need
if they lose anything, they will never come back.
ever. There's no comeback potential. There's no CC. The only consistent CC is Vel'Koz E.
I mean, Camille might be decent.
Shen.
Shen is
Shen
all right.
destroys Mundo.
Well-
Shen has percentage max HP on his Q. Not a small amount either.
But the big issue with this
It's not a Mundo top lane. It's a Mundo jungle. It's Poppy support Mundo jungle, Urgot top.
It could be Poppy jungle Mundo mid.
It's a Hui. There's a Hui.
It could be Poppy jungle is what I'm saying.
Never mind.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely not.
They
It's
were
definitely
trolling. It is a Yumi.
It's definitely not Urgot top. But
I kind of wanted to see an Urgot though.
that is true. But
Urgot into Shen is a bit rough.
there is a critical flaw within Atlas's team, and that's if Shen is not there for fights, they cannot force an engage. They can't take any damage. Otherwise, they're instantly going to be bursted. If Mundo gets like 2 items, he runs the entire team down.
Mountain Home, I'm really liking the team comp. Personally, I wouldn't have picked the Mundo. I think a lot more picks could be way better here. Personally, especially if they're blind pick.
engage.
So, say you pick an Engage tank, or you could pick a Bruiser. Like Mbessa here could have been amazing.
Set would have been good.
Set was banned by Atlas, or by Mountain Home, actually.
Why are they
But
banning the ideal
I don't
characters for their
know
team?
why they're banning that, but
But as they showed last game, they can play bot lane for advantage. You're not wrong. The thing is, the bot lanes are good, and they know how to play around it. But if you don't have a team comp that can support it, it doesn't matter how good your bot lane is, they're going to get ran down. They only have Shen to keep themselves alive. Meanwhile, they have Mundo and Rel, who are phenomenal, like, keeping people on top of you tanks. Well, I say tank for Mundo. He's technically a juggernaut, but...
Yeah, he has got enough HP. He's a tank.
Kane top would have been fine, too. Play red Kane into their team.
No, we're playing... It's Grey Kane. It's top lane Kane. It's Grey Kane.
I hate Grey
It's Grey Kane.
Oh.
You got to pick the Grey Kane, man.
That is such a... I hate that
I'm
Baus
thinking
made
about.
that
I'm
popular
thinking.
for 2
I'm thinking about
patches.
picking up some Grey Kane for next season. How do you feel
Ban
about
this guy.
that?
Ban.
I did take your
You're
top lane.
breaking the
That's fine.
summoner's code. I don't get to play Cho'Gath, so you don't get to play Grey Kane.
I don't get to play Gangplank. That's my pick. I don't get to play him. It's sad.
No, you're not wrong. The thing is, at least Gangplank is the top of the field of damage. Cho'Gath isn't even in the top of tanks.
No.
He got good. He was good for 2 patches because people abused his
And then
build.
he was super good.
Look, I will say this. As a man who has played Hail of Blades Cho'Gath, I play it the correct way. Bork, Lichbane, Nashor's Tooth, Titanic, Hydra, Sterix Gauge. That is how you play Hail of Blades Cho'Gath. You guys got my champion nerfed, and I do not enjoy that fact.
So true. Cassante could have been very good Xandric.
Yes.
Arona Freeze. Singed is one of those things in this controlled environment. There's way better proxy options. So even Kayn, Galio is great. Garen great proxy.
Yep.
Riven is great proxy.
I don't. Riven is good for proxying.
Not
the
into
issue
the
is
game.
that into their team, she would not be allowed to play.
I'm saying there's other top lane picks that are better
Yep.
for proxying than Singed. Singed just kind of does his one
Unironically,
thing.
Cho'Gath's a pretty decent proxier too.
Cho'Gath is a really good proxier, yeah.
Set's really decent at it too. Anybody who has any form of sustain, shielding, or healing otherwise is fantastic at proxying.
It's the reason champs like Galio are so good for proxying.
Is you
The
clear
wave,
the wave
the
instantly.
wave vanishes.
Yep.
You
It's
get
why Singe is good with it too. is 'cause
you get
can do
Hall
it
of
without taking
Radiance
damage.
on Galio. You climb up, press Q auto, and the entire wave dies.
Yep.
That's it.
And
and
because
you run wherever
Galio
the hell you
has
want.
his base damage of his Q is so high,
Oh, it's
it
absurd.
insta kills casters, and then Hall of Radiance triggers to kill the front lines, and that kills the cannon.
His Q doesn't insta kill the casters, but his auto attack on the melees does.
In theory, it's the same thing anyway. But I have a feeling that if Kindred does not immediately get like 6 stacks within the first 12 minutes,
It's gonna be over.
Atlas is going to not have any sort of urgency throughout the game.
Kindred has to get early stacks.
And Shen
which is going to be so
Shen has to win
hard.
top lane, and Kindred has to be strong. That's their win con condition.
Shen should win top here. If it's played properly, Shen should win this top lane.
His pass through damage is so phenomenal against
I think it's
tanks.
like 8% max
I
HP
think
damage
it's
on each.
10.
It's 10 on each auto,
Yeah, he's ironically one of the best
you
lane
can-
bullies.
which is bizarre. But his whole thing is he leaves lane after 6, and then you get all the gold you could ever
Yeah.
want while he's gone because you take his tower.
The best part is he can kill champions in like 2 rotations. He cannot clear an early wave to save his life.
His wave clear is some of the
fact
worst
that his
in the whole
tech
game.
is you get Sunfire and Titanic both so that you can clear a wave
It's
in a
so
reasonable
sad.
time speaks volumes. to
Shen
how he
recently
directs
did get
waves.
a buff last patch. His Q now affects towers.
No.
Not the percentage, but the base damage on his Q hits towers now.
If a character gets percentage damage against a tower, they are no longer allowed to be played.
Have you watched Trundle play?
It's not percent maximum damage. He just does absurd.
The tower just vanishes.
That's like saying, oh
like
guys,
Shyvana
what
top
if we
lane.
said Ziggs every time he throws W does 50% maximum health damage? Okay, the game's over in 5 minutes. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye. It's true. But Shen was one of the worst tower clearers as well because he had no damage. It was just basic auto attack damage. He has some of the lowest base auto attack speed and innate damage in the whole game.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Shen's entire thing is, okay, I'm good at taking down champions and I'm good at supporting my team. Everything else is negligible. I give my Lucian a 2,000 HP shield. Deal with it, nerds.
So he can't actually kill towers now because his Q buffs his damage on towers a bit.
And I mean, he still can take them because
I've
he's
watched
gonna
him
get
take
Titanic,
5
but,
waves to clear 1 tower.
but how early into the game was it?
20 minutes.
That just sounds like a skill dip.
That was a game where I was bot lane on Ornn playing for Dragon, and then we were stuck fighting. And then it took that many waves for him to actually kill the tower
Yeah, but that
because he had no demolish.
again. But think about it this way: if Shen was still able to, because he used to be able to take down towers pretty easily. They removed some damage scaling on him because he was so oppressive. If he still had that, Shen would be the new Garen.
I hate Garen.
What
I
do you mean? He does
despise
literally
Garen.
everything.
I hate him. You were in that solo queue game with the
Of
Garen.
course I was.
That was miserable.
Garen is the Malzahar of top lane. Nobody
I hate
likes
him.
to fight him. Oh, that is actually a fair point, Xander. Hullbreaker Shen is actually really, really decent at taking towers because he can stack up by using Q auto reset pretty easily.
I hate that Q's an auto reset.
You know what's funny? Cho'Gath has 2 auto resets.
I know he does.
Mundo also has 2 auto resets when
I
you get
know.
Titanic.
I know. There's a lot of champions with auto resets. Like they're giving so many champs auto resets.
Well, the thing is, technically everyone does if you include items, because Titanic.
It's just Titanic, but
I mean,
only some people can
Rav
build it.
Hive does too.
Does it?
Wait, no, because
No,
Rav
no, it
Hydra
doesn't.
is
It's the cleave.
Yeah. Then it is only Titanic Hydra because Stridebreaker is an instant cast. So is Profane Hydra. Yeah. So it'd
Ravenous
only be
Hydra is
Titanic.
effectively old Gordrinker, except way weaker.
I miss old Road Ranger.
I don't. I miss it for my champs.
Playing Renekton and healing for 120% of my HP.
I miss it for the point of my champion being broken because of it, because I'm an Aatrox player and Gordrinker Aatrox was absurd. But
Boo this man. Boo. Boo.
it's not a healthy. It was not a healthy item for the game. It's not healthy for assassins to be building it. If you're AD, you built it.
Yeah, and the same thing with Divine Sunder is why they both got removed.
It's Divine Sunder was more situational because if you didn't have a way to apply Sheen, you couldn't build it effectively. Any melee champ could build Gordrinker for free.
Yeah.
If you are melee and you are AD, you build Gordrinker.
It's incredible sustain. It helps you clear waves, and it gives you really good stats. And it gave you AD based off missing HP. So it had It has Bloodmail's current passive.
Yes.
And it was just so huge.
Yeah, it was absurd. I also Xander. I have a couple clips too of Aatroxing. You just press Gordrinker and go full HP.
Yeah.
And then he presses Q2 and goes full HP.
I am thankful it is gone for specifically your character.
It also gave him Omnivamp because that item had Omnivamp too.
Well, yeah, Zed built Ravenous Hydra
okay.
because it allowed him to instantly clear a wave, and then it would heal him a fair portion. Zed, at that point, Zed goal was to kill a person before he could use Gordrinker rather than using Gordrinker to keep himself alive.
Yep.
Don't mind my monster addiction. We're sponsored by these guys, and I love it, and it keeps me going.
Fair.
Monsters base.
Plug. I do have to say, I really enjoyed Mythics, mainly because one of my other champs got to abuse another item.
You're the reason Rek'Sai can't use Prowler's Claw anymore. You specifically play the characters that ruin mine.
I played one character that used Prowler's Claw, and it's the only time he was a functional character. That's my comment.
So for context, people are watching this. Back about 2 seasons ago, back when
It
Mythics
was more
was a
than
thing.
2 seasons ago.
Oh my god, I'm old.
You know how many seasons ago it was?
3?
Yeah.
But I used to play Cho'Gath, Rek'Sai, and Mundo almost exclusively, and Set on occasion because I like Set. Rek'Sai was a full burst assassin who relied on Prowler's Claw because everyone could always escape her. Gangplank got that removed. Gordrinker got removed because of Aatrox.
That actually
which
no.
was
Gordrinker did not get removed because of
Aatrox.
Gordrinker got removed because Gordrinker was built on everything.
Regardless,
have you looked at Olaf during that meta?
Remember when Olaf doesn't care.
Remember when Olaf was picker ban because of Gordrinker? He was the high prior pick over Renekton Aatrox.
You know who is better than both of them? Lethal Tempo Tom Kent.
No.
He was better. He wins level 1.
Because Olaf, who cares? Because he doesn't win level 3.
That's based. Gordrinker Leona goes crazy.
Mood.
I would have loved to have tried that. My latest Leona build is AP Leona. It goes crazy.
Oh god, that
Look,
photo.
I did the second most damage in the game by
I don't know
level 11.
how. Oh god. Oh, Xander. Why did you just tell me Mbessa and Gordrinker in the same sentence? Why?
That is a terrifying
you do this?
proposition.
This is a horror story. Don't ever say that
Wait,
again.
Divine Sunder, Gore Drinker, and Besta would have gone crazy.
Oh.
Gore Drinker Cassante would have gotten good too. Because he's already unkillable. Might as well give him sustain on top of it.
This is gross. Why are we thinking about this?
Because it's fun.
Actually, what's funny enough is looking back, the item system was actually better during Mythics than it is now.
Because the entire thing about the Mystic system, it was supposed to bring more build diversity for characters.
Which it did. Unironically, then build diversity now. Every character has one build.
Because at least every character had 2 to 3 builds. Like, I can remember there was the Duskblade Zed build, there was the Eclipse Zed build, and then there was the Crit Zed build. Which, it was bad, but it was really, really funny. Every character had a lot more build diversity. But that just isn't a thing anymore. Because everyone builds the same 5 items. Like,
True.
Oh, are we going for another invade?
Another? Really?
They do have Rel level 1, and Mundo Cleaver does a quite a bit amounts of slowing. This slow is quite phenomenal. Wait.
Oh, God.
Are we going to go for a lane bush here?
We're doing
I
bush
want to see
cheese?
level 1 collapse.
Oh, Kindred's taking red buff. Kindred is going to take Poppy's red buff, and if Poppy does not know, it's going to be very sad.
The fact that they're doing this without either of team placing a single ward
is crazy.
Exactly. Jin is dead. Jin, run. Run, my boy. They're coming for you. Run! Run! They're here!
Poppy, where's your E?
She didn't flash E?
She is jungle. So her Q is kind of the only way she kills camps.
Then Rel flash Q.
I don't know.
Or Mundo, Mundo does Q.
Mundo's recall's canceled. Mundo recall cancels painful.
So they just waste their time, and Mundo's going to miss the majority of first wave or burn out TP. Either way, it's not good.
Oh.
Yeah, the Vel'Koz missed the Q. No, Dandruff.
Oh,
no. Just TP top. TP top.
Just
There's no
TP
point
top,
in
no
recalling
recall.
anymore. TP top,
just
my
TP.
brother. Everyone
Arano
built
freeze.
Heartsteel no matter.
You're right. Everyone needs to build Heartsteel. It's just Heartsteel the game.
I want to play a custom game of 10 melee people in an ARAM, all building Heartsteel, and just see how it goes.
I'm down.
Okay, and it looks like, yeah, that invade could have gone so much better. Mundo's out a TP, and considering Shen already has lane advantage, considering
out TP here
early
is
XP.
miserable for Mundo.
Yeah, that's not good. Had that without the custom,
Let's
I envy
go.
you. That sounds like one of probably the most fun games I have ever heard. And I need to get the mod where it's the steel
Mundo
bar.
passive out. Mundo passive being out's huge, especially if he doesn't get the canister. That's a lot of health gone.
And also since it's just what I want to say 25 seconds. Shenton will be up before then.
It's 30.
30, 30 level 2. Because I don't think it starts getting decreased until level 5.
I think it's 6.
6. But
I think
either
it's
way,
all-
that means triple taunts from
That's it. That
Q is
should
going to just do
be-
so much damage. And
Shen not having Ignite here is a little mind-boggling because if he gets a lane advantage on the Mundo, he just walks over the game.
But
TP allows him to roam easier, but Ignite would just allow him to dominate lane. And that's what you want to do into Mundo.
I think he could have unironically gone TP Ignite.
I think so too.
Because the thing is,
Though Taunt Flash.
he won't need it against their team.
That's true. Well, it
'Cause-
guarantees the taunt against Lucian.
The only person who taunt won't work on is Poppy because she interrupts, and that's it. But
That is
the big reason why you take
this duel going on bot lane. That is Ignite burned on the Jhin. Lucian's not interacting. Lucian just isn't here. It's Rel walking at them. And Rel's winning.
The big thing that I'm noticing in bot lane is that Triphase and Goofy Paper are really taking advantage of, as the guy says, fundamental level up timers.
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Okay, so I have a comment on that last engagement. That was a free kill on the Jhin. If Lucian walked, Lucian stayed farming instead of going for the engage, Lucian could have flashed and gotten a double auto attack. Jhin would have just had to burn barrier and then probably died.
He had his E up as well, so I don't even think he needed to flash.
He just chose not to engage there.
But considering
And
that,
he's dead.
Yep. Okay.
That's a gank setup. It was a good gank setup from the side of Thunder Ridge. That's a double kill onto the Kindred.
Which is kind of what they really need.
Kindred's first mark isn't up yet. First mark is always a Scuttle Crab.
The first mark was up. Poppy already took it topside.
There is a mark before Scuttle?
Scuttle is first mark.
Oh,
The second they spawn, it'll pop up.
Yeah.
Now the question is whether or not
she had
Kindred
bot
mark
lane
was on
marked.
bot lane. Okay, if that's the case,
Well,
she's
I don't
gonna
know.
go-
I don't know.
I would assume she did because that's typically the path.
Yeah.
but Kindred needs to secure as many of those as possible. She doesn't really get online until 4, and then 7 is where you start to get comfortable. Or mark, because the scalings and that stuff is so much fun.
It is, but also if you don't get those marked, you're not a
You're
champion.
not a character. Yeah. It's the same thing with Evelyn and Shyvana. You have to hit your win con to become a character. And I think Kindred out of the 3 is probably the hardest.
Yes.
Especially when you're fighting such an aggressive.
Shyvana,
like,
not so
Poppy.
much. Her buff on drags is kind of.
Well, she becomes a champion when she's 6. That's her thing.
Yes.
At least when it comes to all-in.
That's a
potential.
lot of junglers. Fiddlesticks, Nocturne.
Fiddlesticks at least has a bunch of CC before 6.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, Fear.
He doesn't put any levels in Q.
Well, yeah, but Fear, healing, and then percent
His
maximum
gank
damage.
doesn't exist until 6.
Yes, that's fair. But also counterpoint, Xin Nocturne, Rek'Sai, unironically, Neferi, Gwen.
Neferi's not functional to 6. Gwen's not functional to 6. Problem is, or their ganks aren't. Zinzo
Or
has
Amumu.
Amumu and Zinzo have incredible ganks pre-6.
Yes, but they're still characters pre-6, is the point I'm trying to make. They're just
Yes.
way better at 6.
Gwen reasonably shouldn't be a character pre-6 because she's designed to be a late-game hyper carry. The same thing as Master Yi. They really
Yep.
shouldn't be characters early, but they are anyways because screw you.
The big thing is those two are item-based rather than XP-based.
Yes. Yeah, unlike something like a Kale.
Interesting Victor ult coming out
Oh, that-
from Gija Layer. You typically don't use that on a full HP
Oh,
Hui.
Victor might actually be dead here.
No, Kindred's
Kindred is
got
dead.
their back.
Victor is
will
dead.
Die.
That is going to be a trade kill. Kindred is fed. Kindred is 3-0. This is a big Kindred. It's whether or not Maxwell can
Maxwell.
actually force this lead onto the map.
So the big things to keep in mind. Okay, clearly.
That is a Shen R. They have numbers advantage. Poppy didn't cancel the Shen taunt. That's a free fight win. That's 2 more kills to the Kindred.
The worst part about that is Goofy Paper played that so well, he immediately got rid of the shield onto Vel'Koz. But I don't know why they hesitated immediately leaving. They kind of like stood there waiting for the Shen ult to cast, and then
They
they're like,
shimmied.
oh, now
They
we-"
shimmied back and forth.
Yeah. But
But that is a 5-0 Kindred. Kindred's horrifying. Where is Mark on the map? Kindred might have gotten it, or it hasn't come up yet.
So-
can you click on Kindred for me?
so I would assume Kindred has 2 marks currently.
Kindred currently has a mark on Hui.
I would assume Kindred has 2 marks currently.
Kindred's currently on Raptors.
Yes. You have to click on the physical champion.
The champion on the map, the one that's recalling. Nope, not on the mini-map, the one on the map. Just click on the Kindred.
It's okay. Okay.
I want to see how many marks she had.
I would assume Kindred is currently at 2 sacks.
That would be reasonable, especially because
'Cause
she didn't get her
didn't
first
get
one on the scuttle.
Okay, she is at 2. She's in between 2 and 4. Because if you saw for a second during this replay, Kindred Mark was on Gromp, and that doesn't happen until Kindred is
Yes.
looking for 3rd Mark.
Okay. So she has guaranteed first 2.
Yes, yeah, she got 2 from her gank spot lane and during that dragon fight,
Okay. She has a mark on the Hui currently.
which should be a relatively easy thing to establish because Wake is constantly pushing in and fighting, and Kindred can one-tap most people right now. She's super strong.
Kindred's got a full Trinity Force.
Interesting flash from Goofy Paper
Interesting
trying to take down
Vel'Koz
Shen
R.
top.
It almost killed him. Okay.
This means free tower pressure, and
Yep.
if Kindred was down there, they could go for Gromp. We're gonna see. Oh, can we see the Jin shot come out? All of the skill shots. Watermark was trying to do
Only
the
because he was
juke
slowed.
shoes, and
Only
the
be-
slow secures 4th shot.
Watermark had flash up.
I don't think it would have saved him.
Maybe.
Vel'Koz, I think,
Vel'Koz
still
had no
runs him down.
cooldowns. Vel'Koz burned all of his cooldowns to slow him.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he would have lived. It's fine. He didn't have a shutdown. That death is all right. Victor here is dead. He's going to get dove. It's whether or not he can get the trade kill.
Interesting.
Kindred gets the kill. If Kindred gets shut down here, it's so bad. Kindred does
has
have R.
Triface, he did not go into Kindred. He didn't go into Lamb's respite to save himself. He was off by like maybe half an inch. If he did that, they unironically killed Kindred there, and ideally Poppy gets the shutdown, I would say. I think she would have a bigger impact this early on in the match.
I think so, especially because Lucian's building lethality, then Collector first and is 1 and 3. It's a pretty bad start.
Wait, was that a zap from Belkaz? Dude,
It wasn't a zap, the Q missed.
he doesn't know his geometry. He doesn't know a squared plus b squared equals
The
c squared,
Pythagorean
chat.
theorem not ingrained in his head quite right yet.
You should FF now. I love Azap.
Yeah, that's
Such a
great.
wonderful guy.
So good. Oh, good Q.
Xander, I'm in high school and in gold lol. You know what? That's fair. That's typically the average skill level. A lot of people only start getting into
I think
League of
silver's average.
Le-
Like bronze, silver
is about
silver's
silver is
about
I want to
center.
say top 50%.
I think
yeah.
so.
Gold is where you start getting to the top 25, and then afterwards it gets significantly harder.
I'm 3-4 games off of diamond.
Yeah, we've been getting.
God,
some
it's
good
painful. I was 1 game off 2 days ago.
I know. No high five.
I was 1 game off 2 days ago. It was bad.
But
Ranked climb moment.
the big thing is, I know that a lot of people I know started off League in high school, so that's typically the training, starting to learn like some of the basics of League. Or
That's
like,
when I
get
started
the
off was high school.
experience. Yeah,
Kindred got her mark on the
that is and Red
Red
Buff goes ahead
Buff.
and kills
This
off
Kindred
Way.
is 8 because Kindred gets a free mark here.
Focus Lucian.
That's a free mark on the rel.
Yep.
This Kindred has
Actually,
I think
no, it is right to focus that.
I think has like 6 marks.
Nice. Okay, so to break down some of that play, they played that immaculately. They split the damage just enough that they could secure both sides. Kindred focusing on Rel, I didn't see that the mark was on them. That is massive. She should be at, I want to say, 5 currently.
It's 5-6 marks. She's so fed.
Yeah, at this point.
This Kindred's up CS, has 8 kills and a bunch of assists. I think she might get 9 off of this rel.
So
No.
the way that this has to be played
Belkaz.
out is they need to 3-man dive Kindred at every opportunity. She is very strong if
Kindred
she has
has
someone
to
to
die.
support herself.
Kindred is nearing 2 items.
Yes. As long
She's just getting the combined cost to get Collector right now.
The issue here that I'm noticing is, and this is something I probably should have pointed out during their champ select, Kindred ults plus Shen ult is a really good combo, because if Kindred ever gets low,
You're guaranteed to get
Glamour
the Shen
Spite,
TP.
and then Shen ulties you, and hypothetically, if you're in a decent spot, you kill whoever's there with the 2 of you.
Yes.
So they have to either kill Kindred before she can do Lamb's Spite or Shen ult goes off, or they have to be able to win a 2v5, hypothetically speaking, which shouldn't be that difficult considering they have Lucian ults.
It's a big trade for Shen right there.
Yeah.
Mundo is going Heartsteel this game first.
Now
That's a
this is
Heartsteel.
this is a game I wouldn't build Heartsteel.
I know.
Because sure, you can sack it off of Shen.
Mundo's up
Shen's gone
CS.
constantly.
Mundo's up CS.
That's because
Shen left.
Yeah, Shen's been doing a lot of work for his team. Mundo here needs to go for a Titanic first, and then immediately go for towers and try and help with Void Grubs. Their goal should be taking objective, getting money, and then focusing that around for the rest of the map. So you get
Chongmuch, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is Warmogs. I forgot Warmogs has the arm guard. It's he built the
the
other
crystalline bracer.
the bracer, yeah, and he built the other Giant's belt to have after Warmogs the first time.
Yep. So I really think it would be Titanic to Warmogs rather than Warmogs first, because Shen's never around. Shen is focusing entirely on the
Mundo
other
has
side of the
a
map.
lot of wave clear himself. I would go.
But Titanic gives you auto reset and you can clear waves faster.
You're gonna want to go something. Titanic is never gonna be a first item on Mundo ever. It's
No?
too expensive. He doesn't get enough from it.
Well, you
I
can
know
go
he builds
maybe
other
Titanic
expensive
Sunfire?
items. You don't build Titanic first anyways, because Titanic needs health to do anything.
Sorry, not Titanic. The component, 1200 component, AOE damage. Tiamat.
Tiamat, yeah.
Yeah,
I could see
maybe
a Tiamat.
as a first item into
Yeah.
a Sunfire,
I could see a Tiamat.
but if you're going to be playing into a side lane where the other top laner is going to be gone constantly, you need something that helps you with wave clearing faster so that you can go for towers and...
I think at this point, Kindred needs an LDR. And then Kindred just walks at the enemy team. There's nothing they can do about it.
LDR, Bork...
Or actually, no, Mortal
IE.
Reminder. Mortal Reminder here.
Oh, Mortal Reminder Q's, getting the heal cut for Mundo.
Greeting for the pick. Doesn't die, though, so Kindred does not get punished for
Bless
going
you.
for the kill onto Watermark for the stack. As the first tower going down, that is a point towards feats if they don't have them already. They do have feats. Thunder Ridge does have feats for the game. First tower going to the Jhin, who's currently 4-0-3. There's a
Yeah.
complete turn on how the first game looked.
Yeah. So the way this has to play out, if Mountain wants to get back, they will have to make, if they continue playing the way they will, they're going to get naturally outscaled, as well as they are already behind in terms of a lot of gold. They need to
That's a
force out plays
3K
here.
gold lead in jungle.
Yeah.
3,000 gold at 15 minutes.
So what I would do here is Poppy, get Deadmans, Rel get support Deadmans, roam together with whoever can deal the most damage output, which is probably going to be
Kindred.
Hui.
No, it's going to be Hui.
I'm talking about on
Yeah, I
Mountain's
just
perspective.
noticed that. It's going to be Hui.
Run as a 3-man and take down as many people as you can. Try and do surprise death balls. Set up kill bushes.
Yes.
Victor's
Hui
gonna kill
is...
here.
No, he's not. Hui has flash. It's fine. The Vel'Koz R does not finish him off.
If they had, if Vel'Koz had faded ashes, that might kill. But
It might have, yeah, but he does not.
who was Poppy's pick last game? Also Poppy.
No, it wasn't Poppy. It was top lane last game. Their pick last game for Mountain Home was what was their jungle? Mountain Home's jungle.
It was Nocturne versus. Oh, why am I spacing out?
Me too.
Oh, Volley.
Oh
Bear.
yeah, it was Volley last game.
Thank you, Easy Breeze.
Thank you very much.
I don't know. So, theoretically, Mountain Ridge should have the advantage in these fights. The issue is you have to make sure they don't get an advantage early, and then you just run them down.
Yes.
Mundo needs to hit his 2-item power spike, and then he runs them down. But with Lamb's Respite being an option, plus Shen ults, it's going to be so hard to take anybody down.
One of the main
unless you can
issues now
survive.
for the Mundo is Kindred is so fed that it's almost impossible for Mundo to actually do anything. Like, Mundo's going to get melted by Kindred. Kindred is going to be 3 items before he's 2.
Yeah. And that's kind of because he's building weird. I don't know why he's not finishing his items. He's going for component
You have no
bases.
reason to finish Warmogs before you have health.
Movement
So you
speed.
build... It doesn't really matter against the Shen.
Yeah. But it's not like the extra giant spell's going to do anything for him either. Compared
No,
to
but the
Warmogs.
extra Giant skill gives him instant Warmogs once he purchases it. That's the difference.
I mean, yeah, but also finished Warmogs will give you more AD than the giant belt.
That is going to be a... Is it a kill?
No,
It is going to
there we
be a
go.
kill for
I
the
thought-
victor. I think that was the first 1v1 interaction where there was a death in the mid lane. It was always more than 1v1.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It is mid lane. It's fairly common.
Yeah.
Vel'Koz R is going to do almost nothing to this 05 Rel.
The thing is, it's providing a lot of pressure and making
Yes,
people
yes, it is.
scared. Vel'Koz is just showing everyone that he's on the map constantly. No one can go around.
Because it's a Vel'Koz. You may not move. And Rel's very dead. 06 Rel is a little bit rough. 1-5 Lucian is also really hard because Lucian's one of those ADCs. He has to have a lead. Lucian without a lead is not really a champion to the degree that Lucian wants to be. He
Yeah.
can't do what Lucian do. Screen is frozen.
If anybody else can still hear us, it'd be good
Oh,
to... Okay.
back on time. Okay, we're good.
So the big thing with Lucian is, yes, he definitely wants that early lead because he's supposed to be a lane bully. Oh, okay, hench.
That was a weird interaction.
So clearly they knew someone was there, but they just
Missed.
They missed. The good thing about Lucian, and it's something that I'm sad other players don't do, is use your ult more liberally.
Yes.
It is a 1,200 damage ult level 6. That is pretty much anybody's health bar at that point.
Pretty much. One thing that I do have to point out, that mark on that Krugs has been there for almost 4 minutes.
So the reason you keep the mark on Krugs on red side is it's such a out of the way, especially if towers up. It's such an out of the way spot that you will know if Kindred goes up there if you put a control ward in one of the spots next to it, and you can easily collapse on it, or you can take so much in exchange.
I would have just gone to Force because of her being 8-0. She is so far ahead in gold that I have a feeling Kindred is in a state where if they play it right, they just 1v2.
You're not wrong. You're not
So
wrong.
Kindred could just force it for the mark.
And again, this is it's a hypothetical like principle thing. It's you want to either waste your time or prevent from getting as much marks as you can. It's already
Lucian Noir. Interesting.
so anyway.
On to the next.
They will not win this 3v3 here. Do not force this out. Try and rotate for a wave, and then let Poppy clear her camps.
Are they going
Do
for
not
something?
go in,
No.
Poppy. You have Vel'Koz W and Victor Cage. You will not be allowed to play the... Okay, Victor gets stepped up, and he gets hit by Poppy ultimates.
Oh, shutdown goes to Rel. And the Jhin gets a kill on the Poppy. Rel getting that shutdown is really unfortunate because that gold isn't going to do a lot of anything.
Yeah, Rel doesn't really need money. She is...
Rel.
Yeah. Poppy can use a lot with that money, especially in the jungler role. She could use it to finish off a Sundered Sky or go for Eclipse.
Screen's frozen again.
All I know is that... What was that, Culling?
This is true. That is my main question.
I'm scared. You know, sometimes I'm scared by the power of the Void. Sometimes you accidentally just pull off a minigun when you see a giant Void creature swinging at you.
This is true.
It happens.
So
Stream we might be
has
having
frozen.
some slight technical issues. I don't know if you guys noticed, it wasn't working quite so well on the stream.
Thank you, Riot Games.
Small indie company. Don't worry about it.
True.
They need more money, guys. They need to sell a 13th Lux skin. Sorry.
There's more than that, I think.
17th Lux
I think
skin?
that's what it would be. Yeah.
Look, I want Deadly Commando's Lux. Where is it? 17th?
I want a lot of things. Mainly legendaries on my character.
Look, I will say this. There's a lot of great skins.
I have a feeling Yoni and Yasuo are going to get another legendary before Gangplank gets his first one. Because they both already have two.
So there's a reason for that. They're more popular than GP.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
The edgelords are more popular, despite
The edgelord
Gangplank
sword
also
boys.
being an edgelord.
Except he has a reason to.
Okay, so quick update. Apparently the match is still going on. It's just our spectator view is just not working.
Oh.
I think. No, that's a replay. That's not the actual game itself. So, I guess we could just talk about what's happening so far. Kindred was exceptionally ahead. They themselves should be able to carry with just Shen as their co-conspirator. They have really good objective pressure. I'm surprised they didn't try and force Shelly out after that mid-fight. Victor getting caught out there. It's unfortunate Rel got the shutdown, but getting Victor out in the first place is kind of massive. Any gold is good gold. Third Nyla skin win. Never happening.
No. Fourth orange skin, he did get one. Choo Choo Warren happened, remember?
That is true. Because you have base skin, you have Choo Choo, Thunderlord, and Elderwood.
Choo Choo being the best.
You're not wrong. Captain Flowers was so happy with that skin.
It's such a good skin, man.
Speaking of which, I have to glaze Captain Flowers. Man is the goated. I love that man. He's the best commentator I've ever known.
So good.
I would love to be able to work with him someday.
Like every time I boot up and
oh, you're right.
stream.
Or it has a disco skin.
He does have
Space Groove.
He has Space Groove.
I completely forgot that was his skin.
Thunderwood, Elderwood, Space Groove,
Choo Choo,
and Choo Choo. So that's 4 skins and then base, which doesn't count. So 4 skins.
Yeah.
There's the 4th skin.
I don't believe you can rejoin spectator after you leave the match. Is the thing. So, I do not, unless if something miraculous happens with the system itself, I do not believe we'll be able to stream the rest of this match. It is just refusing to work on the spectator side. So,
On that comment, as with how this game was going, it does appear that we will have a game 3.
Yes. Atlas should be able to take match 2. Mountain Home is able to take first one, which means map 3 is anybody's game. Alls I ask is that don't pick Poppy if you're not going to abuse her early aggressive power. There's so many times you could use Flash E or just put up
I'm
your
not seeing
shield
any
to stop
Poppy
you from
plays
dashing.
happening, and that champ doesn't do anything unless they get a lead.
Yeah. Well, it's not that she doesn't do anything with lead.
She has to force a lead with the
more
kit.
She has so much more potential.
Because there's other picks that are just better if you're not planning to use that.
Yeah. But I don't know. So I think we've said what we've needed to said. We will keep you guys posted on the results. We are going to take a short break while we wait for the match to end. We will try and stream game 3, so that is something you should be looking forward to. In the meantime, get another drink, get another stack, get ready for game 3 sooner rather than later, and we will be back with you shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We got the situation updated. It looks like Atlas did win Game 2, so we'll be moving into a Game 3 incredibly shortly. We prophesized that it was going to work out that way.
And it did.
A Kindred that's 8-0 with approximately 7 stacks, unstoppable at that point,
Pretty
especially
much.
with the Shen Shield. But we're happy to see that there's going to be more content in moving into Game 3. It is anyone's game at this point. Winner takes all. Now...
So the first two matches didn't matter.
Oh, they mattered. You get to get some insight into the person you're fighting against. You get to have a little bit of fun, and you get to like see what sort of team comp works for specific reasons.
Effectively, it's a best of one now. The first two games,
Yes, it is
out the
effective
window.
best of one.
Toss them out.
But we're looking forward to starting the game soon. We will be getting an interview if the technology works properly after the match. Hopefully, we're
see.
hoping. It is unfortunate we didn't get to see like the last 5 minutes of Game 2. I'm assuming it was. It seemed like
Probably a pattern of the last.
Yeah. It probably
the
seemed like
first.
it seemed like Mount Home was
20.
holding on pretty decently considering the massive gold gap.
Yeah, but then it's mostly because Thunder Ridge wasn't doing as much as they could. They weren't forcing everything that they had the ability to.
And,
They weren't doing a lot of wallet smacking.
and that was kind of a theme with both teams. Is they try and play, I say methodical, they play more passive and then eventually take down what they need to get to their base. They definitely could have ended faster if they wanted
They
to.
could have, 100%.
But there's no issue with going for Baron or Elder. And then
You don't
ending
have
off
to
of
risk throwing the game off of a quick end.
those. Chong Much. Yes, Atlas won Game 2. So 1-1, moving into Game 3. We'll be starting draft shortly. We're just making sure everything works. We should. We hope you guys have been enjoying so far. It has been a blast being able to cast here. I know this is. You want me to refer to your real name, or do you want me to refer to your username?
I don't care.
Gamertag. Okay.
No.
I know Bipod. Biped Toast, not Bipod.
iPod?
Don't worry, I'm messing with you everything currently. Biped Toast here hasn't really been a whole part of a lot of the streams from the UI.
I was
the Idaho
supposed
Esports.
to stream on Monday. I was supposed to cast, but
It was Monday
fell
fell through, and then Tuesday fell through. So it's nice to be able to have you being a part of these streams because I know this is something you were very much interested in.
I would love to
earlier
do it
this
more
semester.
often. But next semester might be too high of a course load for me to reasonably
Yeah.
do more of this.
We'll see what can happen.
We will
'cause
see.
There's
Going
a
back
lot
to
of
the
commitments.
draft, there's
Another
the
Victor
adapted
pick.
bans. There's an Auction ban and there's a Shen ban.
So they're doing the exact same bans except for Shen was rotated for. Oh, the one change was that Shen was swapped out for someone else. Lilia, Nefiri, Action both taken out. Nunu, Malzahar.
Oh, it was Lilia. It was Lilia.
Lilia was still banned.
Oh, never mind. You're
Yeah.
right. Shen, what?
Oh, Tom Kench.
Oh, yeah.
Shen for Tom Kench.
Yep. Victor Jin on different sides this time.
Well, they swapped sides. Atlas is now on red side instead of blue side. So same
Yes.
side.
So they just picked Victor and Jin again.
Yep.
Noted.
Well,
the Vel'Koz
Victor
again.
got swapped team sides. So Jin is against Victor in terms of the comps now. But so we're seeing the Gen Vel'Koz come out again. Atlas is a Kench main in top lane. You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
I'd take on the Kench. I have a good win rate against Kench.
Nah, I'd win.
It's called pick Aatrox. Also, Gangplank wins.
Just play Vayne top. Easy.
You know what's funny about Gangplank versus Kench?
Okay,
If
Caitlyn
Gang-
Morgana. Caitlyn Lux.
I prefer the Lux here.
Honestly, Caitlyn Nautilus. They get a good engage
Tank.
angle in. Yep.
Engage tank.
Either way, Caitlyn should win this lane by herself from her pure aesthetic. You either get a poke champion to make sure you get a lead, or you get an engage tank to make sure that when fights start, Caitlyn wins. Either way,
It's whether or not she gets
There
hit by
isn't a
every
bad
Vel'Koz Q.
there's only one bad pick, and that's if you pick Yumi. And if that happens, I'm going to cry.
That works.
Oh,
That works.
Zyra. Now the question
works.
is that Zyra jungle or Zyra support?
That is a good question. I'm going to guess
I'm
it's going to be
guessing
Zyra support because Zyra jungle is a little bit really kind of hard to play.
Not really.
Zyra jungle needs a lead.
So the way
She's also
Zyra-
very good at invading, and you need to know how to invade.
So yes, I do agree with that. The issue I think that you're encountering is that Zyra kind of doesn't have a whole lot to happen in the first couple of levels. She needs 6 if she wants objective pressure and to take people down. but her clear speed is so ridiculously fast.
It's so fast.
With seed refresh off of killing like chickens and such, that by the time you're done with clear, you have like 20 seconds to do whatever what you want at level 4.
Yep.
And that's just massive pressure. Nasus, the competitively viable character.
He shouldn't be, though. It's like Garen. He shouldn't be allowed to be competitively viable because of his kid. But he is. Which translates to overtuned. Kindred ban.
Kindred ban. Makes sense. Mountain Home did not have a good time with that.
Nope. I suspect a Tom Kench ban.
And the main reason why Kindred was so effective last game is the vision was not great. So if you're going to go for an invade, you have to either commit to it and get the kill, use the flash to get the Lucian kill. And then you have some like vision on the other side of the map, like red side, so that if Kindred does invade, you know they're on red buff, we go and take theirs. But they made it so that invade failed, Kindred stole red buff, and then they lost.
There's the Kench
ban.
ban.
Summoners.
So both top players' main champs are banned out.
Yep.
We're going to see very uncomfortable top lane here.
I want to see Kennen versus Kled. I want the team fight dynamics.
I want Kled to win that because I prefer Kled. He's the cooler one.
You dare say
Yes.
that Kennen loses against the 3rd Cavalier Commandant of the 5th Legion? Ooh, Briar. Okay, you know what goes crazy here? CC top laner. Get Malphite. Get Malphite here.
Depending on... I prefer Ornn.
The issue with Ornn
I prefer...
is that Ornn ult can be interrupted. Malphites cannot.
Scion.
Unstoppable.
Scion.
Yeah, but Scion ult can still be dodged. At
Grim
least
pick.
significantly up. Wait a minute here.
Hold up.
Wait a minute, folks.
Hold up, wait a minute. The Zyra's guaranteed support now.
And Bessa top lane would
Mbessa
be
could go
massive
hard here. Mbessa goes hard. I don't know if their top laner has an Mbessa, though.
Yes, Chong Munch. I was referring to Kled, the Lord Major Admiral of the 2nd Legion's Forward Artillery. I can never remember his official
It's
title.
actually longer.
It is the best
He has a
thing
longer
ever.
one, too.
Have you ever heard of Cetra the Imperishable's official title?
Urgot blind pick. I don't know how I feel about an Urgot blind pick.
Malphite.
Malphite.
Just pick
Just
Malphite.
pick Malphite. It just
you
pick
do Malphite ult into Briar ult, they'll cause
Just pick
the
Malphite.
AoE teamfight damage here would be
Like, just pick
absolutely absurd.
Malphite. It's a cinch.
Or Set. Set also works really, really well here because you just ult
Not
Urgot
as good
into
as
their
Malphite.
opponent.
Or not as good as...
Yeah, not as
Malphite.
good, but
And he has a harder time landing
but
into Urgot.
counterpoint. Set to W 2,000 true damage.
Oh, no.
Not the Poppy top
No,
lane.
not the Poppy. Why?
So I'm assuming Poppy interrupts Urgot.
Yep.
So that part is fine. Counterpoint, shotgun legs.
Malphite would have been a much stronger and safer pick here. The problem with Poppy here, Poppy without Flash has no engage. Poppy without Flash doesn't get to do anything. Also, Poppy, if Urgot plays it right, Poppy, unless she presses W before E, Urgot buffers his E and he wins.
Yep, and then he uses ult to execute them as she tries
The
to one
only
away.
thing that beats Urgot E is Gragas E. And we all know how stupid Gragas E is. That thing
Well,
beats,
you
it
didn't
beats
like-
everything.
You didn't like the ability haste.
No, I'm just saying the hitbox on it.
It is
It's
pretty massive.
so massive that it straight up wins against almost every other dash CC hitbox thing in the entire
'Cause
game.
It beats ViQ, it beats Zinzao Dash, it beats Kennen E, it beats literally everything.
It beats. What does not beat?
What wins? The power of an arcane fist fueled with the power of magic and about 200 pounds worth of steel?
Or Fat Drunk Man.
Or a man with a beer complex?
The beer complex wins.
Duh. He has infinite beer, man.
He does, in fact, have infinite beer.
He makes Broloff jealous.
I think they're homies though.
What, Broloff and Gragas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're the best friends.
Yeah.
Because the entire thing is, Gragas provides infinite amounts of alcohol, and Olaf has
Keep in mind,
has the true
Gragas
ice.
is an Iceborn.
Yep.
The reason his keg is always cold is because there's a true
True
ice shard in it.
Yep. You got Lysandra. He uses the power of true ice to freeze her targets. You got
She uses
Sejuani.
black ice.
Yeah, fair
Same
enough.
diff. But
You got Sejuani using ice magic to seal their target with a giant flail, and you got Gragas.
So
beating people with alcohol.
So the Iceborne we know currently, Trundle's an Iceborne.
Ash.
Trundle, Ash, Sejuani, Lysandra is one of the original sisters.
And then her two other sisters are also canonically Iceborne.
Or yeah, but they're Avarosa and can't remember the other one. Basically, they're Ash and Sejuani.
Yeah.
Effectively. Grog's like, no, I'm not refuting
reminds
that.
me of my childhood.
The fuck is Grogus? Oh, Grogus.
Slam.
I hate that champion sometimes.
But something
man.
I've been noticing in a lot of these games is the engage is very much lacking on both sides. It's a catch out with 1 CC.
I think
and then
the
hoping you
engage
kill
is
the target.
entirely reliant for Mountain Home. It's entirely reliant on Hecarim, and for Thunder Ridge
It's
is
on
entirely
Briar.
reliant on Briar and
Vel'Koz.
Poppy. Vel'Koz is counter engage.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think Poppy's going to be able to engage into their team.
Poppy Flash.
But what if she doesn't have Flash?
Then there is no engage.
Exactly. And if you
The
need,
other team doesn't have
Flash, and if you need Flash to engage, are you
The
really
other team doesn't
engaged?
have any engage either without the without Hecramar. There's no engage either.
Yeah, that's fair, but the big difference between the two teams is just, again, it's a damage comp versus a damage comp, and
There's
I
so
think if
I
you pick
don't.
one or two characters, you can completely shut those down.
The Poppy pick is not what I wanted. Poppy is one of those champions that
You have to play in very
she
specific
hasn't performed
circumstances.
on any of these games. We're just
I
picking
mean,
a
in
champ.
game one, she was all right, but that was because her team was already ahead.
Yes.
Game two, it shows you the weakness of Poppy. If she does not one-tap her target or build damage, like building the Thornmail first was not a great item, but like building Eclipse into Sundered Sky, that gives you damage, sustain, movement speed, and then you can actually do something with whatever lead you
Or
generate.
you build full tank movement speed like Deadman's.
And then you work with your jungler to secure a target because your jungler's going to build full damage.
Yes.
But neither of those were really executed in that manner.
The Malphite would have been guaranteed safe lane because he builds a Warden's Mail and can't die.
And you take Arcane Comets so that Urgot doesn't have dive pressure.
You just build a Warden's Mail,
Yep.
and then so you build a Warden's Mail Bramble, and Urgot starts doing more damage to himself than to you.
And the
I'm not kidding on that either, by the way.
The weirdest part is, in a lot of these matchups, taking Cassante, it just does what Poppy does, but better.
Every time.
And that's partly
just
because
Cassante.
Cassante is overpowered, but the way they're fighting, it's like they want to play damage Poppy, but they're building tank. And
Mr.
that's
Cassante
exactly what
hater.
Cassante is.
Mr. Cassante hater. I mean, you're justified, but
Are you saying you're not a Cassante hater?
No, I play him.
2.7 thousand true damage from 1 W with a single item is 3 Cho'Gath ults on a 8-second cooldown
Also,
with 70% damage reduction.
Your fault for getting hit by it, though, because he can't change the direction.
Iceborne Gauntlet! What do you mean? He has slows on 2 abilities, 3 dashes, 4
I'm not
shields.
arguing.
He has the ability to one-tap anybody.
Showmaker copy pasta.
4,700 HP, 2,125 mana, 325
There it
armor,
is.
dashes
Thank you,
over
Easy Breeze.
walls, has CC immunity, unstoppable. Thank you, Easy Breeze. I'm so glad you got that with
Thank
me.
you.
Cassante is so absurd, and nobody talks about it anymore.
It's because Cassante's one of those things. He's not a solo queue champion.
Wrong!
His win rate is 56%.
Because people hit on him.
Yes.
There's
'Cause he's actually
a reason
not
Yasuo has a 46% win rate, but his mains can pull wins out of a hat on a dime.
True. Actually, they can't. Yasuo's
Actually, I
just
never
bad.
thought of it that way before. Cassante's passive is just true damage sheen.
It's not true damage anymore. It's physical. They removed the true damage.
When you're in assault form, it's true damage.
No.
Is it not true damage
Not
anymore,
anymore.
in assault form?
It's percent max HP physical. His W is true damage now instead. That was part of the rework.
Yeah, that's fair. I honestly don't know. I would just prefer them not having true damage in general.
Again, his W is very easy to dodge.
You're not wrong.
If you have
But
any
it-
kind of movement ability, he's going to miss.
I play Cho'Gath. What do you want from me? Because his W goes through my silence.
Yep.
And my knockup.
Yes.
And my slows.
Bad matchup.
All of my characters are bad. Actually, Kennan's all right. But that's
Kennen
you have to play
wins.
perfect. Give Aatrox true damage? No.
No. I play Aatrox. Don't give Aatrox true damage. You know what they did? They buffed his healing.
Okay.
His E.
Aatrox would be fine with true damage. You have to give me one concession, and this is something I will not
His
lease on.
E.
Thornmail is the worst heal cut in the game.
Oh, yeah,
They need to
100%.
have it apply on CC rather than it being applied on auto attack.
Problem with it applying on CC is then the best in the game.
Yeah, but now, okay, so
It's Antio's such
we
a.
have done this before. I have bought Bramble Vest against you. First item is Cho'Gath, and within 15 minutes, I stopped 900 healing.
I don't auto attack you. If
And
I'm
that's
playing it
the
right,
issue.
I don't auto attack you.
And that's the issue.
Like I literally hit a full Q combo and then passive auto you and then walk the hell away.
Thornmail doesn't work against Fiora, Alawi, Aatrox, Olaf, Tom Kench, and
It
about
works
6
against
others.
Olaf.
Yeah,
All he does is auto attack.
Yeah, that's fair.
It works against Olaf.
Okay, it works against Olaf and Warwick, and that's about it.
Yep.
And that's 2 characters out of 190.
And also, they're never hitting you after lane phase.
Because they just use their abilities at that point.
No, they just run past you.
Yeah.
To kill your backline.
Honestly, we had 3k true damage every set. Yeah, but Set's fine because I play. Look, I'm not biased towards champions. I swear.
Aatrox's buff wasn't. It was. So his E now at max rank gives him 100% more healing. Instead of, I think they gave him basically instead of a 0.9, it's a 1.0 instead for healing multiplier.
That's not awful.
No,
I don't think
Aatrox
Aatrox needs buffs at the moment. But
he actually does considerably. He's actually not.
It's the items that are working against him rather than it is his own kit. His own kit is fine the way it
They're
is.
not changing the items, so they have to buff his kit.
Of course they're not. They're only going to buff ADC items. We've been over this for a full season.
What's much miraculous is they buff ADC items, and then they manage to dodge Gangplank as being in that buff umbrella. Like
and we've also had this conversation. A lot of the characters that you play in top lane, they got really, really hit hard with the item changes.
Yep.
So Essence Reaver getting Sheen passive removed.
07 to Essence Reaver.
Yep. Prowler's Claw getting removed. Duskblade getting removed.
That one makes sense. Duskblade was never built on Gangplank. You always put Prowlers instead. Though I missed my 3 items, 1600 damage on my barrels.
And that is why they're not going to buff GP, because if GP can do that without his specific items, the game is over.
The problem is he's non-viable.
Yeah.
Like, at all. He's just non-playable. Very interesting trading happening top lane.
Apparently, it was data mined that Aatrox Q sweet spots would do damage, but not hitting the sweet spot does even less damage.
That's fair. It gives him more counterplay in lane.
Well,
it's a buff and more counterplay at the same time.
Yeah,
because if you dodge his sweet spots, then his damage will be pitiful. And
but if you hit
hits
the sweet shots, you one tap your target.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's all right the way it currently is. I think the hit spot should maybe be a little bit smaller considering the cooldown on Aatrox's E after level 6.
The cooldown is 12 seconds long.
Well, I mean at max rank, it's a pretty low cooldown.
It's 4.
Lucian's E at max level is 9.
Lucian also gets free CDR on his passive on his E.
And you get 3 knockups.
They're micro stuns.
Yes. Anyway, regardless, the point's out. But we're seeing
we have an engage going on top lane. This is a situation. Poppy didn't press W on the
Urgot E.
On the condemn.
Yep.
And then it's just an auto loss trade against Urgot early.
Condemn is Vayne E.
You're right. What the hell?
It's the better version.
Okay. What is it? It's
not turbocharge.
No.
It? Turbocharge, I think, is Singed.
I can't remember. I knew it at one point. Briar is top lane. That is a flash forced out of the Urgot, which is pretty unfortunate because then Poppy has their flash, which means that on a secondary gank they can force the kill.
Which, if Urgot plays smart, he just keeps the wave by his tower tries instead of a freeze, because it's clear Urgot already has the advantage against Poppy. The only reason they didn't kill there
I would say that, but Poppy's up 8 CS.
Yes, but that's because Urgot was forced off of the double wave that was being pushed.
No, Poppy was up CS before the gank.
I mean, fair enough, but also Urgot doesn't need as much money as Poppy does to succeed.
Yes, he does.
Not against Poppy specific.
Yes.
In terms of a team game, yes, he requires more because he is not as
Urgot also needs level 13.
Because that's when he gets his W max.
No.
Not W max,
that's when he gets
max
his passive at lowest cooldown.
Yep.
Because it goes down to 2.5 seconds.
And that's when it
also,
maxes out the
we're seeing the Hail of Blades Poppy again. I don't like the Hail of Blades Poppy because it's based on that, I'm predicting a Fimbulwinter. This is going to be a tank Poppy. Building Hail of Blades is not worth it. You want to go Grasp here to stack those health off of her
If you're going
passive.
Hail of Blades, you take Eclipse.
100%.
You have to.
But-
It's so synergistic.
Yes.
It's a damage rune for a person who's playing tank.
You also don't play Poppy top lane with Hail of Blades.
I mean, you can if
That's
it's
a
a
support
Swisher
jungle.
top lane, but
You
it's
still
just
don't.
not
You go
great.
either Aftershock or Grasp.
I agree with you. It is better selection. Hail of Blades is very much viable. It's just it's used for different gameplay style. It is used for I'm playing Sundered Sky Eclipse. I'm going to run you down. My hopper. I do 100. I do 120 damage with first auto level 3.
I do think so. Double Darks. We have double.
This Hecarim is okay. Henchman is getting all of the
Henchman-
flashes out from
All of them.
everybody.
Everything's burned. I do have to comment on the double Dark Harvest on bot lane from the Vel'Koz Jhin. I would have gone on Jhin here against this lane specifically. I would have
Fleet
gone
footwork.
Fleet. 100%. There's so much poke in Zyra Caitlyn. Like,
And he's getting hit with all
Look,
of the
look at his health
plants,
bar.
and he's not
He's-
not clearing the plants.
he is a third HP off of farming one wave.
Because honestly, if you're going into a lane like this, the goal is with Jhin is you will outscale Caitlyn in terms of raw AD around 3 items.
That's what it was. Thank you, Rama Freeze.
Oh, disdain.
It's disdain.
Yeah,
I knew it was
pretty
something similar. Also, it's one of the most badass moves of the game. He straight up grabs you and flips you over his head and slams you on the ground.
I don't
just-
know. I
he
think
RKOs
it's
you.
pretty metal getting a giant rod come out of your chest and harpoon a person back to you.
Urgot's just metal.
Giant spider.
True.
But
Giant enemy crab.
Urgot is actually level 6 now. So is Poppy.
Urgot has the funny R button now.
Yeah, if you get a little bit of poke damage off with a Victor ult and Urgot's around a corner and you don't see him, just go ahead and ulti, get him drawn in, and a fight's over.
Can I just comment on Urgot the Clogfather being played? Such a baller skin.
Okay, I have a question for chat for any of you that play. Yes, that is Clogfather. It is hilarious. Did any of you guys try and get the, claim a funny skin thing in the shop where you get like a 420 for one of the skins? Did anyone else only get Malphite? Everyone I've done it for has always gotten Sandcastle Malphite. No one else has got any of the other skins. You're right. Urgot definitely could have forced engaged. The issue is Void Groups were up and they wanted to secure it rather than having to risk Briar taking one and ruining the
Poppy's up XP
beat.
in this matchup.
Why is Poppy activating her anti-dash so
You know
early?
what's interesting? Because Urgot didn't have to dash at all during that, because Poppy was point blank, she didn't get stunned.
Because she was inside. He was inside the field.
He was already in the hitbox. No, it hits you inside the field.
Yeah.
But he didn't get hit when he used Disdain. Because he was point blank, there was no dash. He just picked up
Yeah.
Poppy and slammed her over his head.
Okay, we got a Braum skin. We got an Urgot skin. Oh, one of you guys got Glizzy Nefiri. Oh, that's the one I really wanted. I wanted Hush Puppy Nefiri.
I wanted the Braum.
Shish Kebab Braum goes crazy.
True. That is a Briar Flash burned on an invade. Briar had no W, so she had to
Briar
disengage
wins
from.
these.
Hecarim was full Q stacks. She had to disengage. Everyone's collapsing here.
Briar dies if Victor
Oh,
jumps on
that's. Imagine if Vel'Koz was 6 there.
them. Yeah.
If Vel'Koz was 6, that was a
Even if
double.
Vel'Koz is 6, Vel'Koz doesn't have mana. He was only there to make
That's
sure
true.
Briar had a path out.
He is broke.
The funny thing is, if Briar committed to fighting Hecarim or the bot lane, that's either a single kill or a double kill.
Briar did manage to get the chickens, though, which is pretty big. Currently,
Yeah, but it costs flash. I
Gold-
don't think that's worth it.
it's not, but at least it's something.
Victor is about to start getting 100 hex fragments for his first upgrade, which is going to make Play have a
He's a way
miserable
off of
time.
100. He's at 56.
That's 91.
Why is he at 91? How is he at 91?
Farm. Plus hitting abilities.
I forgot hitting abilities gives it to you now. First Blood comes out at 9 minutes, and it was off of a Briar R.
Sorry, abilities don't do it. Cannons give you 10.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But, yeah, Briar is going to be kind of the linchpin here. She can force out engages, and the AoE fear is going to be, hey, like, I ult Victor, anyone near him to try and protect him is going to be unable to help, kill him, run away. But it's going to be a matter of who can catch out a person. This is very much pick comps here. I'm not going to expect to see a bunch of 5v5s.
No, neither team has a good... Mountain Home has a better 5v5. They
have
Hecarim Victor. They have a better 5v5.
and Zyra. Zyra's massive
Hecarim
for
Victor,
5/5s.
Zygar, Urgot. If Urgot, oh, that's a good
That
aim
is
on the
beautiful.
Urgot R.
I respect the attempt to try and flash out the ult. It was too close range to be able to do anything
That's a
about
free
it.
kill mid lane.
Yeah.
We have a lead for Thunder Ridge now.
Yep. Saying on Velk, I'm surprised Velkos has been banned. The amount of pressure he's put on maps is just roaming constantly to where the jungler is going to be. Sets up such easy setup.
Yep.
The knockup gives so much time.
I'm
Slow
seeing-
on Q, and the true damage just
I'm
kills
feeling like at
everybody.
this game, this fight kind of just boiled down to Poppy walked up to an Urgot. Poppy has to trade on her passive.
And
Otherwise,
it's-
she loses trades.
And the funny thing is, it's only going to get worse. His legs are getting upgraded at the moment, and he's going to
Again
get
with the
black-
Bramble Vest first.
I mean, it's good against.
No, it's not a good against Urgot.
I was thinking
You
it's
build
good
Warden's
against
Mail.
Briar, but they're on the same
They're on the
team.
same team. Again with the Bramble Vest, we're just
'Cause
auto building.
Warden's Mail would be decent.
Because I'm calling, they're going to finish it
yeah.
here. It's going to be a Thorn Mail. You are into Urgot, you buy a Warden's Mail.
or even a
End
chain
of
vest
story.
would be
You-
better.
No, you buy a Warden's Mail. Warden's Mail reduces the damage on each one of the little
Yes.
pellets on his W.
Warden's Mail is the best, but even Steel Sigil or Steel Vest is better than Bramble Vest. They don't have a healer on their... Like, Hecarim heals fine. It's not going to matter in your guys'
No, he's not auto attacking. He's queuing. That's Feet of Warfare. Out for Thunder Ridge. That was just a Briar ult getting hit on Watermark.
For the second time, actually.
Yes. Both kills on
He's being
Watermark.
lethal. And now
This is
going to
be a dead Poppy.
Yep, they should cast ult here. Poppy
Very well,
will be
Poppy.
unable to escape. They're going to try and dash through Zyra, but Zyra's about to get her E back and walking
It's
down.
Ignite
the
out.
river.
And another kill for the Urgot.
And with-
Urgot 2-0. This game for
Is-
Mountain Home is going to be on Urgot's back.
It's going to be Urgot and Hecarim working really well together for chain.
They have
clears. And if they get those off really, really well,
Hecarim
Velkos
low
gonna
half
stop them.
low half HP off of the Vel'Koz R. Briar doing Briar things, just running after him without because she
they-
doesn't have a choice.
They do have Vicious Onslaught from Hecarim here, as well as Victor's Arcane Storm. They theoretically could have won the 2v2. They didn't have Way ult or Briar ult.
So Arona Freeze, you don't finish the Warden's Mail, you just build the Warden's Mail.
You don't need to finish the
need-
full item. You would get the Warden's Mail into Eclipse,
Yes.
or Warden's Mail into Sundered Sky. 'Cause
Warden's
you
Mail
need
and do
damage.
something. Like
A lot of the tank items, you just at least a lot of those tank items, you
Unironically-
just only get the component.
components, tank items are oftentimes better than the full items. Like Ornn will oftentimes build components for like 2 full items before finishing one.
Have you seen the Rammus tech recently? It's
Chain vests.
It's short shoes and 4 chain vests because they're
It's
just
so funny.
better. Nah, that guy's basically Urpog. I'd listen to him. That's so based.
The sad part is Urpog's not even the rank 1 Urgot.
Oh, who took the title from him?
He hasn't been rank 1 Urgot ever.
Wait, ever? I
There's a
thought-
challenger Urgot one trick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he doesn't make content. Urpog is just well known because he makes really funny stuff. He
Yeah,
also makes
Urpog's
really
awesome.
stupidly good custom skins.
I mean,
Urpog's custom skins go crazy.
is there anything that can beat Skippity Toilet Urgot?
I'm not saying
Yes.
about Urgot skins. He made High Noon Gangplank.
That is true. Yeah, it's usually bad to complete Sunfire before 3 items.
Unless
it's only on a
it's-
very few couple of characters. that
Ornn
you
is pretty
compare.
good on Sunfire before because it gives him huge wave clear.
Well, the thing is, Bombies, the difference between Bombies and Sunfire for a
Is
lot
much
of characters
bigger
is,
now.
Yeah, it used to be way huge when Sunfire first came out, but now it's a lot. It's negligible except for like 3 cases.
I think Ornn is one of the few champs that finishes Sunfire early because it gives him so much wave clear
Yeah.
without having to
Sunfire
burn
and
his whole mana.
Maybe Shen.
Shen builds Hollow Radiance. Most champs that need the wave
but
clear
just
build
the
Hollow
Sunfire
Radiance.
item in general.
True. The Bomby item. So, that's a really unlucky flash.
Vicious
Flash of
on-
Hope out for Maxwell, which goes to the henchman as a shutdown.
Hecarim canceled his back and he hasn't noticed it yet.
No.
He's sitting there in the bush.
No.
So, and that's the thing. With Vicious Onslaught, Hecarim can basically say to any one person, oh yeah, you're going to, okay.
Holy Vel'Koz damage.
Yeah, and okay, 4th shot.
We got the aim. Vel'Koz.
Vel'Koz hit the shot. You know what's funny? It was only until after the Gen ult had ended that we saw Hecarim back.
I know.
That was a solid 45 seconds of him just sitting in the bush being like, why can't I buy items? But Victor should be able to get a double kill. Why? Flash ult.
What?
He was scared of the Briar ult
Poppy
coming out.
just walked up Hail of Blades and then lost the trade.
And they finishing.
That's flash on Victor, flash on Jin, but Jin lives.
Yeah, so, and again, that's another full Thorn Mail.
It's not good here. Poppy doesn't have any kind of damage.
Well, and the thing is, sure, you do a bunch. Okay,
R.I.P.
Victor
Jin.
getting a massive
R.I.P.
E-off
Jin.
to take down Potato Chip underneath his tower. Vel'Koz could not do anything to prevent that death.
No piece of Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is currently an item and has ZZ Rot completed.
He's going to be
Not
doing a lot of
ZZ
poke.
Rot. Zax. That's what it is.
Yeah. Imagine if ZZ Rot was back in the game.
Please no.
You don't want to deal with ZZ Rot Malzahar?
No. No, I don't.
You don't want to do that with Rise?
No.
And the thing is, Thornmail, it interacts with Urgot's passive in a weird way with the W passive. Like, it does a bunch of damage to him off of it.
Urgot's just winning
But
trades anyways.
Yeah, but Poppy isn't going to win off of that in these fights.
It's not enough damage yet. She doesn't have any armor. You don't build Thornmail first unless your name's Ornn, because you're not going to have enough armor.
Rammus.
Or Rammus. You just don't have enough armor for it to be worth it.
Yeah, and again, they don't really have any healers on their team for the heal kit to be worth it. It's a good armor item. It's just too early in the game for it.
No one's doing enough healing. I mean, it makes sense later for the Hecarim, but
Hecarim won't be healing off of auto attack, so it won't even be applied.
It won't be applied.
And at that point, you go ahead and have
Thornmail got purchased because Cookie Cutter build. That's why Thornmail got purchased.
You're not wrong. But if anybody's going to get a heal cut for
R.I.P. Vel'Koz.
Thunder Ridge, it should be either Quay or Vel'Koz.
That's another death. Oh, the bleed. It's an unfortunate death on the what the
Absolute
what is going on?
Mayhem.
Everyone's
as we trade
dead.
2 for 3.
Why is everyone
Mount Home taking advantage?
Why is everyone dead?
So there was a 2-man fight top. Urgot trades for Poppy in the 1v2.
Urgot gets a trade in 1v2 for Poppy. Dies to the bleed off of the Briar, and then mid lane, Vel'Koz just gets run down.
And then it was Hecarim, Quay and Caitlyn
auto attacking each other. And then Hui managed to finish him off.
Caitlyn stood still and ulted to finish off Hui.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. It is what it is. Yeah, this is just kind of unfortunate for Vel'Koz, because it's Vel'Koz. He can't do anything here.
And,
he has no cooldowns. He's just dead.
The part about this that is so unfortunate is that
The ignite and then the
that
was weird.
A lot of needless sums and ultimates were used here. I don't think Caitlyn needed R. You could have just autoed.
Just autoed.
Yeah, and she had barrier during that fight.
Vel'Koz is dead again. No, they killed a Watermark.
And that's kind of
the game's totally switched. Early game was to Thunder Ridge. We're perfectly even.
It's still pretty close.
We're 1K gold lead. That's it. 1K gold is nothing on the grand scheme of things.
And again, this is the issue I've been having a lot of Thunder Ridge comps. You're putting all of your chickens into being ahead in terms of damage and then killing your opponent. You only have Poppy as a reasonable. You have Poppy as your current front line. Briar will get there eventually, but they started Eclipse, so that's not really reliable
really
at the moment.
coming.
Yeah, once they have Black
Jin is
Cleaver,
getting
it's
poked
different.
out.
But if you're
It's
not
a good
able,
trade for Poppy.
if you're not able to stat check them, there's nothing you can do.
It's a lot of these comps boil down to a lot of these feel like solo queue comps. It's we're going to beat you in we're going to beat you to death with gold.
Which in itself is not a bad idea as long as you can get it reasonably.
But you have to know you can get it.
Yeah, and that can be overcome with good coordination with your teammates. Like, these aren't bad rotations. Vel'Koz is clearly working with their jungler to get to plays. Hecarim is currently working around Hecarim to try... Victor and Hecarim are doing pretty good in trying to set up things together. But other than that, it's... Top lane is an island that's been rarely added. The supports have come up there maybe once or twice, and Briar's come up there, but
Urgot's still got a 2-level lead.
And a 1,000 gold lead. He's the big gold difference currently.
Yep. Like, jungle is actually mid lane.
Watermark is going ahead and throwing out Arcane Storm to take down Hui. That might be a plate bot lane. We know Hecarim is down there with Victor, but there's going to be a potential chaos
Briar's
in the
2
bottom
items.
river. Yep, Black
Cleaver makes sense here.
Yep. She wants a little bit of survivability.
Urgot has Swifties. It's not very sad for Poppy.
Yeah. Okay, we see Briar ult comes out.
Ooh,
tries to escape
oh my
using
god,
endless
the
onslaught.
The Jin W was
Victor Root.
insane.
Did I say Victor Root? Jin Root.
Yeah,
I'm so
that
sorry.
Jin W was crazy.
That was across the map. We do see...
And then it's just dead.
Yeah, and we see Kylan and Zyra
That was
behind.
a huge play.
They will die if they stay
The
here.
the gold diff is gone.
Yep. And
It's perfectly even.
Zyra had to flash out of the Jin route, otherwise she would have also died with her teammate. But Hui TP comes out here mid lane.
Like, it's poked. White presses R and manages to get the snipe. I mean, the hit makes sense. I would not have used QE there. QE was not the pick.
Yeah.
QW might have killed. Look at the Jin W. The Jin W was insane, and the Briar got out of the Victor W, so there wasn't any CC. And then it's just run down the Victor, and then Victor's dead because of this Vel'Koz Q.
Yeah. It was a clean setup rotation.
Wait, we have Voracious in this lobby? This is the GA Otacon in this lobby.
Oh, you're absolutely right. For those of you who aren't aware, there's two forms of Otacon. One is his traditional form. The other is...
Briar ult under the tower might die here. No, Briar's alive.
Caitlyn?
Yeah.
Or use...
Briar's alive. One way or another, it happens.
You know,
Anyways, back to
Maxwell,
Otacon.
Yeah. So first Otacon just happens naturally. Second Otacon happens if there's been enough carnage on the map. It is excessively rare to see second Otacon because the amount of fighting needed...
Other way around. This is the one that's not kill-based. This is the one that is the passive one.
Wait. Is it?
The GA one is the one where you get a low amount of kills. It's exceptionally rare because in the first in the first 14 minutes, there has to be, I think, 4 kills for there to not spawn.
Have I been mixing up the two this entire time?
Yes, you have.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it is still excessively rare, but for the opposite reason.
Yes. The red one is the uncommon one. It's the GA one. That's the one that pops up.
It's the one that says, hey, fight now for the next 3 minutes straight.
Yep.
First blood didn't happen until Briar was 6. Yeah, the first blood
First
came
blood
off
didn't
of
happen until minute 9.
exactly this.
Repeat
this is
of
a
this.
repeat of this would be the
Oh,
third
the
time.
flash into the stun. Beautifully played by the Hui there.
GG.
Set up the stun to guarantee the kill.
Layers set up a fantastic route ahead of time. They knew the Victor was going to try and flash
Briar
this game.
blind just face checking a bush into Zyra. Actually, they win this. That's a big turn.
Zyra placed down her plants outside.
Zyra
of
did
the
no
ultimate.
damage, and then Hecarim, 2 items, is so squishy because all the Hecarim has is Shojin and Yomu's.
He has ability haste, and that's about it.
There's like no HP.
Yeah, Briar ult is such a massive.
Briar hasn't missed
massive
a single
stat.
ult. I don't understand.
I wish I could do that, man. Briar ult is so much fun, but it is a difficult.
You
skill
shouldn't
shot.
be hitting it this often. If you hit it,
Well, and the thing, Victor had flash, but he used it for after he got engaged upon.
if
And
you hit it this often, it reasonably boils down to it's just not getting dodged.
Yeah. I think they theoretically could have won the 2v2 if Zyra set up her plants inside and Hecarim dodges the Briar.
Yes, but that didn't happen.
Yes.
So they kind of just, they don't have any anti-heal. The only anti-heal is on the Victor.
And it's kind of really late for that to be happening, considering how strong
Briar
is currently.
Yeah.
And Hecarim should not be stepping up
Hecarim's
here
dead.
for a 1v3. They have so much CC that can
Thunder
be put on
Ridge
a
is
click.
taking complete control of this game. Even if they were behind, they got that one pick and have just walked at them and taken everything they can.
I'm surprised I haven't seen Urgot really use TP to try and do any team
Urgot
fight plays.
hasn't TP'd for team fights.
Yeah, he is kind of their linchpin here. If he joins in for a fight for like this dragon, if they were all already over there, he's TPing top. I guess
That is a waste of a TP. There's no reason to TP there for that wave.
Poppy wouldn't have taken anything on tower.
Nope.
Plates
That is a
gone.
free drag. That is soul point for Thunder Ridge, which is big. It is a Infernal Soul, which is a bunch of buff damage. But putting the Poppy down further into the hole that is her pockets is not as
It's not gonna
worth
do
as
anything.
forcing to get leads, getting these shutdowns.
Because if you can get... So there's two ways this plays out. One,
That
you
is a
get-
free kill on Watermark.
Yep.
The free kill for Watermark.
There's two win cons. You get Watermark to the point where he one-taps everybody. Get him all those shutdowns. 2, you just use Urgot ult with Hecarim ult to kill one person at the beginning of every fight.
Yep. But there's very little. Urgot's not using W to clear the ward.
And it doesn't even cost mana at this point of the game
No,
either.
it's free. Why is Zyra top lane taking XP and gold? Are they going for the die? They're guaranteeing top tier
They're trying
one.
to take the tower.
They're not
There's
going.
Poppy ult.
Poppy managed to get the entire wave. They still got the tower though.
And I mean, it's good that they're trying to open up the map a
Vel'Koz has
little.
no kind of peel on himself. He's just dead here. That's another kill to Watermark.
So the thing about saying is he's doing really good for roams and rotations. The only reason they're not working out so well is he's trying to do them by himself some of the time.
Urgot has R. This is Dead
Yep.
Briar.
That is Dead Briar. That is a
Huge
massive shutdown onto Dandruff. And that should also be a way taken down. Caitlyn headshot coming in. That should secure the kill. Now go for Otacon.
That was way too aggressive by the Hui here. He walked up point blank with an Urgot.
I think they got a little overzealous with their kind of victories in these little skirmishes.
Yeah.
That just got rid of the gold lead.
It's still 1,000 gold, but effectively they can...
Well, they had a 3K gold lead before that fight.
Mountain Home can get so much off of this Otacon. Actually, the Jin R has to... It forces them off.
Hecarim is getting really chunked out by Otacon damage.
Okay, they get Otacon. Do they? Yeah.
Yes, they should.
Now they can force whatever they want for the next 3 minutes.
And they don't have to worry about flowers because there's just...
No flowers.
No flowers there to be worried about.
Jin doesn't cancel anybody.
Yeah.
That's all recalls. They can venture across the map wherever they want to go and take whatever they want. Effectively, bot tier 1 should die here. Mid tier 1 should die.
Unironically, they should just try and 5-man one specific lane and then go for Baron.
True. True.
Considering that Otacon is giving them the, oh, okay, you die, you lose 200 gold to the opponent, so the shutdowns don't even matter. And it's an 8-second revival period rather than a 50-second revival period. Force a fight. If your people die, they die. You have timer advantage.
Yes.
And then you just go ahead and use Victor to clear objective.
Thunder Ridge won't get any gold. That is the first
That
Briar
is the first
ult missed.
Briar miss ult. I'm sorry, Maxwell. You're washed up. The game's over. You missed an ult. GG.
It's over.
It's over.
One Briar ult missed off the team.
But okay, if he puts Cage over himself and then ults, that should be a double. Unless if they both flash out. Okay, Watermark, just leave. You're being a little overzealous. You do not win the 1v3
I'm looking. GGG Alor.
Yep.
Elayor is not... I'm looking. He's not very, very comfortable on this way. He's QEing on after every single R. You wait and you QW to get the max damage because it's an execute after the R.
Strike. Yep.
Yeah. And there's no... Quay is doing a lot less damage than he could be doing.
And the thing is, they just took down Vel'Koz. They could have started Baron here, have Victor go ahead and walk up.
Yep.
I don't think they're taking advantage of the fact that they have Otacon.
Victor up 1,000 gold. Caitlyn is down 2,000. Alright, Urgot is up 2k. Jungle's down 1k. There's the 1k gold gap.
Yep. And so we didn't get to see it because we had the fight up in by Baron Pit. Victor was taken down by Briarbleed. The Otacon buff just brought him back, and so he didn't lose out a whole lot except for
-1
tower.
RIP.
Of course, that's the part you're focused about.
I'm a top player. Of course, I noticed the missed cannons.
That's one of the first times Poppy's actually been able to interrupt the Urgot E, and
I think
as
that's
such,
the
she
first
actually
one.
gets her HP.
True.
To be berserked, and that is
a dead way. You've been bushed. Sorry.
I would love to see what the vision score is right now, because it looks like Thunder
So
Ridge
currently,
has a couple of wards.
Thunder Ridge, this Vel'Koz has a 66 vision score, which is way higher than anything else. Poppy clicked on a minion.
Yeah. Honestly, if Poppy just waited,
and missed the cannon.
Just have Briar jump up with them. Urgot should die here, but he's going to take one with him.
100%. He got ult up. It's not... Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't because the Poppy tanked the R.
Yep.
Poppy just tanked it. Please don't miss. Jin is dying to minions.
Easy breeze. You taught saying the vision game.
Jin is dying to minions. Jin died to minions.
What? I was right. He takes one with him. That's the GOAT.
He did. I think the minions get that kill. I think they get the reward for that one.
But out of anybody, it looks like Thunder Ridge is going for this fight here.
Hecarim's going for this turn. They got Dragon. They're trying
way
to turn.
too early. Victor is not there to support.
Hecarim's dead.
Vel'Koz ult comes out to take down Hench.
Briar's unkillable because she pressed W. Now she's dead because there's anti-heal. This is an ugly fight. There's a whole lot of... That should be a dead Zyra, 100%. Problem is that Watermark is still alive. Watermark is all of the damage.
Watermark is the person that Thunder Ridge needs to be focusing in these fights, not Henchman. Henchman has really good
Henchman
ults.
was on top of him. Makes sense.
Yes, but the reason why they took down Henchman so quickly is he does what I do, and it's engage without your team and wait for them to get up. The difference is when I have my passive as Zac to stay alive until that happens.
Or I'm with you.
That is true. You are very good at playing with my insane
He usually gets us both killed.
Look, 80% of the time it works 100% of the time. What can I say?
60% of the time it works every time. And should Victor E to finish off the fight.
Yeah.
That was a advantageous trade for the side of Mountain Home.
They interrupted.
Mountain
Baron
Home is now
fight.
officially up 400 gold.
Yeah.
This
So
is such an even fight.
the big thing here is they've interrupted the Baron fight. They know Waterborg is ahead, and so is Dandruff.
I'm going to comment on GG Elayor's lack of vision. There's been no wards. He's sitting on 2 wards.
You want to go? You want to talk about that? Try Triphase, who's at 5 vision score.
Oh.
He hasn't gotten Blue Trinket or anything either, so the cooldown doesn't really make sense. But as I was saying, the big thing here is, or Mountain Home, top lane and mid lane are their current big players.
I'm going to comment. This Vel'Koz is covering all the vision. Like, there are so many wards for red where they need to be a lot of times.
He's doing a really good job in making sure that he knows exactly what's going on between the map.
Engage in the Jhin R. That's dead henchman. That is basically dead Caitlyn. That's a dead Zyra. That is a free Baron.
That is also Caitlin's death.
And a dead Urgot.
If you're going to use Endless Onslaught there, you either interrupt the Jhin ults or you try and set up the rest of your teammates to go for a Death Bush.
Free Baron here.
The way they executed that fight was not great. They didn't have Victor there.
I saw Mountain Home going in one at a time.
The legendary art of the 1v1 stagger.
True.
Sorry, the 5v1 stagger, rather.
Yep. And then magically you have one person win it, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
That random Aatrox that's fed walks in 1v5. This fight started off with Henchman engaging while his bot lane was disengaging. There's anti-synergy, and then Caitlyn just died.
Yep.
Or the Zyra got caught, walked in, no vision, and Caitlyn gets hit by a Briar and is just dead. Urgot TP'd into nothing once his team was already dead. It was a late TP that gave him nothing.
Yep, and then Victor wasn't there for that. He didn't have TP up.
That's a free Baron.
And apparently Victor died in the meantime.
Okay. He probably tried to do a Baron retake attempt, or Baron attempt to try and get him off of it. But now Thunder Ridge is up 4,000 gold off of that. They're up Baron gold. They're up kill gold because that was a 5 for nothing.
The big thing I think that's going to determine this game is, can Thunder Ridge secure Infernal Soul? If so, they should pretty much guarantee to have the
Drag
victory.
is up in a minute and a half. They have Baron for that drag.
Poppy should be able to.
One thing, Briar should
rent
not be farming
topside.
jungle here ever. I believe what they should do. Top tower isn't dead. Poppy should not be top lane.
Poppy is going to go ahead and get a tier 1 and I think then try and
Urgot's
rotate
there.
for
She
something.
can't take it.
I
or
mean,
she can.
It's a super cannon.
That's
and
true.
Urgot can't kill unless if Poppy decides to go for every single passive proc.
Managed to get the tower, so it's okay. And keeps Baron buff.
And
But
they do have TP up, so they can go
they
ahead.
do.
And
That is a
parts of the
Jhin
map.
flash out. Jhin lives here from the Caitlyn R. Good on CEI saying. I can't read on the screen. I'm blind. The Vel'Koz's there just blocking the Caitlyn R, which would have finished off the Jhin, which means they both still have Baron buff. Drag is up in 30 seconds. They get to beyond. Vel'Koz is recalling when he should not be.
He's trying to get his wards back. He needed to do it about 15 seconds faster and then come in there.
He'll be there because it's Vel'Koz. But it'll be a bit late. Urgot has no TP. Poppy does.
Poppy needs to push in this wave and get ready. Urgot needs to run down there now.
Urgot's not.
Yeah, I think if they give up this Drake, they're kind of in a really bad spot.
It's in a rough spot. On the bright side, Infernal Ring is not actually that strong anymore.
Yeah, but they have Jhin Vel'Koz, so
It's a little scary because it's
Jhin has the
insane
best
poke.
scaling, and then
Insane
Vel'Koz
poke
pokes
damage.
constantly. Yeah.
It's all ugly.
Um,
Poppy has no reason to TP. Poppy doesn't actually... Without Urgot in the fight
there's
is
the
a
death
guaranteed
push.
win.
Caitlyn should go down here. Caitlyn and Zyra are both dead the second they step forward.
Yep. Hui is overextending.
Yeah,
Hui
but he has
should be
Jhin with
fine
him.
here.
If he gets the root off, they should be fine.
Hui didn't press
There's
buttons.
the Briar ult. It's getting down onto Victor. If they can take down Victor here, that's absolutely massive. He is the carry.
Victor
of the
is in
team.
Zhonya's. Victor dies.
And he goes down.
Victor's not dead yet. Now
The
he's
bleed
dead.
was going to get him.
Okay, I did want to comment. The reason that the Hui died there was no ability usage. There was no E ability being used. If he used EQ or EE, most likely he would have been alive here.
Because if he put the shield on himself, he would have lived the
That's
initial
W.
impact.
If he didn't use W or E, he'd just use his Q.
Well, there's a lot of options. He has the fear option. He has shield. and he has
Poppy's
the
just
run away.
1v1ing the Caitlyn and winning.
I mean, it's the 0-4 Poppy versus a 3-6 Caitlyn who doesn't have LDR. which I'm surprised
Yeah.
an LDR or Morello hasn't. Sorry, not Morello. Mortal Reminder hasn't come out yet.
They're still not.
They have Briar.
They haven't bought a Last Whisper item yet.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for Rapid Fire Cannon.
Which is not. No. Rapid Fire Cannon's not the pick here. Because
Rapid
you're not
Fire
killing Briar
is a
or
defensive
Poppy.
utility tool. You need raw AD if you're behind.
Here you need to have the Last Whisper item. Or even just the component.
The armor is rather insane. It's only going to be sect higher.
This Poppy has solid armor because the only AP is Victor. Because Zyra doesn't do a whole lot of anything. Zyra built more utility AP.
Yeah. It's not like she can't do damage with that build. She's far enough behind that maybe if she's at 3.5 items, she could actually threaten people.
That bush is warded.
Yeah.
Twice.
It happens. We've been there. We've done that.
We've done that. More often than not, if I'm going to be honest.
But currently, Thunder Ridge has a sizable advantage.
Thunder Ridge also is way up on vision.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say...
This is kind of a vision
CEI
dish.
Sang has better vision scores than our team does. I'm just saying.
Oh, if Layer was able to land the final Q ability onto Victor, he would have unironically won that. Watermork is the reason this game has not been lost yet.
Yes.
It is Watermork
it's
and
still
Henchman
5k gold
versus
lead.
everyone else. Actually, it's Dandrift and Watermork plus Hecarim.
Dandrift is never where they need to be, though.
It seems like there's a little bit of a situational
Dandrift's
awareness
lead
issue.
went away. That is a Briar ult hit in Jin
And
R.
that Zyra also dead immediately after this if they do not get
Where
out
did the
now.
Caitlyn go?
Disappeared.
That is a Victor ult into death. They double TP'd, and they're both dead. There goes both carries. And then
that should be end.
That should be game.
Yeah. The TP itself is not a bad idea.
They TP'd on the same ward late in the middle of Thunder Ridge. When there's a Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz got the knock-up on both of them instantly.
Not only it's Vel'Koz, there was Briar E being charged up as well.
They got knocked into the air again, and then deleted.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Mountain Home could have brought that back. If they just... The way they fight that is they put it front to back, they make sure Watermork lives, and they do everything they can.
Yep.
But Dandrift had a really sizable lead top lane. The Poppy was pretty much irrelevant for the majority of these fights, but they just did not play around the fact that they were strong.
Dandrift didn't ever leave lane.
And that's kind of what you can't really do in this kind of situational matchup.
You need to be able to force the lead you have on the map, which is something that's really hard to do with top lane. You have to know when it's okay to leave.
Yeah, because the thing is, with Victor Urgot, what you could do is maybe like 40 seconds before an objective sets up, go to Pixel Bush, go to Tri Bush, get a Victor cage set up, Urgot E them into you, ult, they're dead. And
that will be a final GG in the favor of Thunder Ridge, even after getting I'm just going to say it, absolutely decimated game 1. They came back with a dominant game 2, maybe even potentially more dominant game 2.
And then they struggled game 3 as they slowly tapered off.
Game 3 was an even game.
It was an even game for the majority, and then the second the Baron play started fighting around, that's when the game kind of just went.
Thunder Ridge kind of just walked away with the game.
Yep. I really don't like that Urgot wasn't there for these team fights. Well, he was for some of them, but he came in way too late.
Urgot's damage is so low for having such a dominant lead at the very beginning of the game. It boils down to if Dandrift went and forced their lead, if they were there for the mid lane catches, if they were there for the objectives,
fights,
they could have taken that game.
Because the thing is, Urgot is a phenomenal team fighter for 2 reasons. 1, he has fantastic damage. 2, if you get the ult
his
off,
ult fear
the
is
group
insane.
fear is
the fear
what,
is
2.5 seconds? It's such a phenomenal group CC.
It is
that
one of the longest area
kill.
effect CCs in the entire game.
The only one bigger is Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks, that's with max Q, it's actually shorter.
Yeah, that's fair. Well,
his is more on
into
demand.
Q.
His is more on demand. You can't layer them like that. You can't. Fiddlesticks has a timer.
Because the Q just gives you extra damage afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's such a fantastic pick tool, and the fact that it can execute someone like Briar who wants to wait till the last second for W to get all their HP back, it wastes all of the potential he made through lane phase. It made it so that all of the gold, all the XP build he had, did nothing because he tried to get first tower, didn't take first tower. He was scared Poppy was going to take tower, which she did at 30 minutes, but at that point it doesn't even matter about the gold.
Yeah.
But I do... Okay. We will be taking another short break. It should only be for a couple of minutes. We are going to be setting up the interviews with a player from each team. Okay, never mind. It will be 2 players from the winning team. So it'll be go ahead and their coach. We'll be getting those set up very shortly. So stick around so they can go and get those caught up. So quick bathroom break. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
And you're hot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and we hope you've been enjoying the rather tight gameplay we've been having for the past 3 matches. The victors have been determined. It was a solid 2-1 victory for Thunder Ridge. We are going to be having an interview with a few of their players in a second. We wanted to mention that we were so thankful that we got to be able to do this with the high schools. It has been such a fun event to be able to cast for, and I know I've been having a great time. I hope you have been as well.
Oh, I have had a great time.
We are going to let the players introduce themselves real quick, and then we're going to ask some quick questions. We'll do an interview of the players, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. So if the players would like to go ahead and introduce themselves real quick.
Alrighty, hello. I am Tayson Lake, and I am the captain of the Thunder Ridge Esports League of Legends Club.
Hi, I'm Singh, and I'm the president of the Thunder Ridge Esports Club and a player for the league team.
It is fantastic to hear you guys. So, quick question for you guys. What got you into the competitive scene for League of Legends in the first place?
For me, it was just overall gameplay. I really do enjoy this game, and I thought it would be kind of a fun experience to play it competitively. And, I've always been trying to improve because improving is something I am interested in. That's for sure.
I completely understand. What are some of the thought processes behind your guys' team comps? I noticed there was a significant lack of engage for Game 1 and Game 2. You guys mainly relied on Briar engage for the most part, especially in Game 3. What were the thought processes behind your guys' team comps?
Okay, so the first game, our team comp very heavily revolved around our jungler as a whole, but it didn't end up working. So we kind of switched it up a little bit, went back, and we kind of went for because we saw that the Mundo was a very strong pick, and they were picking rather tanky champions. So we went back, we talked about it, and so we thought the Kindred was our best option. So a lot of our game management was around our jungler, considering he is the best player on our team. So yeah, that was most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw lack of AP Game 1, drafted a little more into our comp with that Vel'Koz, just kind of wanting to play more for poke as well, Vel'Koz Jhin, and just see if we can poke out a pick and then do the team fight from there.
Okay. How important since I know you guys are in high school and it seems like you guys are interested in the esports scene, how much would joining an esports for a college level organization would impact you guys' choices in terms for schools?
Oh, can I plug?
Plug CEI, bro.
Yeah, CEI, they allow their dual credit students to compete on their esports team. So I compete for CEI's Valorant team, and I was on the league team there for a couple weeks before I got subbed out. But a ton of fun. I really enjoy doing it competitively like this, and I've definitely looked into state colleges that have esports programs as some of my top picks there.
Well, we'll let you know. U of I is always willing to accept you guys. You guys show some really good promise. And I don't know if you guys know this. I used to be a member of CEI myself. I was also part of their esports program, so I know it more than most.
Mundo backdoor.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I know I won't say his name on stream. I'll use his username. I know Marmalade specifically remembers that play a lot. Is there any questions you have for the two players in specific? I know you were interested in speaking to Sang specifically.
So I wanted to ask, why Vel'Koz?
He's been watching Azap.
So okay, now if I say that, it's gonna sound like I'm copying you. Yeah, Azap, I won't lie.
That's fair.
I was about to do the Shirelia's build. He's been running in Korea.
Oh yeah, I know he has. I watch him too. For a while, I'm the top varsity player, or I'm top lane varsity. Last semester, I was not on varsity. I was JV captain, but I would oftentimes join the varsity to fill for support because they didn't have all 5 players. I would play Vel'Koz.
Oh yes, sir.
I really appreciated watching the Vel'Koz work. You put in so much damage with that champ. You also had incredible vision control.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I try every back I see on the map. I'm screaming, "Buy pink ward! Buy pink ward!"
Honestly, I'm just gonna say it. You had vision than our varsity team. You had better vision, 100%.
That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
No,
I
it's
swear.
not. I'm just saying.
It is kind of my fault.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate Jake. He puts a lot of his work into support around vision, which makes him just an overall better support.
And very clearly that effort is paying off.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your guys' next process in working as a team now that you guys have the high school championship over? Are you going to try and join like an not an OP.GG, but like some sort of the events at the high school level and then eventually into the collegiate level?
It's a possibility. Unfortunately, we do have Jake Sang, who is leaving us this year,
Yeah.
senior. But
Yeah, I'm
everybody
graduating.
else on the team is a junior, so we do have promise for next year. We just need to find a support.
And a mid laner.
And a mid laner, yeah. And for collegiate level, I'm not entirely sure because we have a lot of our players are very heavily into other things. Like our jungler is very heavy into debate. He's actually really good at it. So I'm not entirely sure on that part, but at least for the upcoming year, I think we're looking to get back to back.
Mhm.
I hope things work out for you guys. It would be nice to see you guys join us for these events or join us in person one of these times. Thank you guys for the interview. Is there anything else you want to say before we cut this short?
Just
I
thank you
gotta
for our
say-
opponents. They put up a really great,
Yeah.
one of some of the hardest series we've played this entire season. Their drafting, their team fighting as well was really, really well put together.
Yeah, no,
I was screaming in VC every time the heck room came out of bush.
Yeah,
Like a
no,
jump
I
scare.
definitely have to pay respects to Mountain Home. They are a very strong team, and I'm glad we could play them. They had me worried on the first match a little bit, that's for sure. They
I
came
think
out
we
really,
were a
really
little worried
strong.
on the first match too.
Yeah, the first match did not go our way, but we regrouped back.
Well, thank you, and thank you to the rest of the Idaho high schools that take place in this. It is unfortunate we couldn't stream Monday and Tuesday, but it was good to be able to see that there's some really good promise coming up from the high schools. The interest is there, and we got to see some of the players actually in action. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for letting us be a part of this. It was a pleasure being able to spectate and observe your guys' game, be your personal casters, and we hope we can do this with you guys again soon.
Absolutely.
My name is Overlord. I'm followed here by Biped Toast, and thank you all for being here. We hope you have a lovely night.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.